I say, guys, it's a very beautiful day. Do you agree? I understand every single day it's very beautiful. I understand every single day I must show up and do my nice, beautiful work. I understand I'm a life coach. I'm making sure every single day I come and do some communicational work on the street sometimes. I understand that what's important is making sure that your name grows and that you have a beautiful legacy today and that you have something to say all the time. I understand that when I can always come here and give $14 for 3 months of nice, beautiful communication on the street, I understand that I can also grow in the process of doing something amazing, which is, I understand it's communication. I understand every single day I'm always making sure that I go give those ideas. I give a different idea every single day. I make sure every single day I have 24 hours and I put into 1 hour video. I promise you when I do that, I upload it into YouTube because I understand that what's important is information. So when you're giving more information, you'll also be richer. You'll also be well known. You'll be famous. I mean, as long as you understand that if you want to be famous, you can be. I understand many people don't want to be famous. I don't know why. I understand I want to be famous. I understand I want to be something much more than you. I don't want to just be walking like the crowd today around the shops. I want to be making sure that I lift the crowd as well. I mean, do you understand? I want to be lifting. I want to be doing something very loud around the shops. I understand every single day I want to be making sure that everybody understands my name and who I am and why am I here and why am I here to help you. I understand that every single day I go and really perform. I outperform myself in all areas of life because I understand that what's important is every single day making sure that you can go and test out your skills and making sure every single day you can go and boost your pronunciation of your life. I understand that when you keep on doing that every single day, you find a better way. You find something to do daily. You make sure every single day you have some communication skills. And when you do so, you understand every single day you can come on a nice, beautiful public speaking program like this. And you can understand that it's $14 and understand that either way, that what's amazing is I'm not selling you money in terms of plastic. I'm understanding that you can give $14 to get here. And then guess what? You come and do it yourself. I have nothing to sell you about money because I'm just giving you money. I'm only giving you money, but I understand that what's important every single day is having a great attitude daily because those who have a great attitude are the ones that can actually succeed. I promise you, they're the ones that actually have a chance to actually become something in life. I understand that most people have no chance. Do you understand? Because I understand that they have no chance because they don't want to grow and they don't want to succeed. And why is that? I understand it's because they're lacking confidence. I understand it's because they're unmotivated. I understand it's because they're depressed. I understand either way that it's the case. I understand either way that what's amazing every single day is make sure you lift the crowd. You have to be lifting the crowd. I understand that if you think you're so smart, come and do it yourself. Come and public speak on the microphone if you think you're so smart. I promise you that what's amazing every single day is make sure you understand to lift thyself. You have to be lifting people. You have to understand every single day I perform on the street, something different. I go and do something different all the time. I'm always making sure I have something of very much quality. I'll never touch you, but I'll give you the microphone. You can speak over here. You can have a nice, beautiful interview with me.
Hey.
You can shout out the boys. What do you want?
Yeah, the boys. I just want to say if there are any single ladies that want to get some sexy times, hit me up.
I see. So you just want to waste my time. I understand. I understand either way. What's amazing is make sure that you understand that when you go and really grab something of high interest, I understand that it's really go and really pronounce yourself much better. I understand that it's amazing that no matter what you're doing every single day is make sure you give somebody the spotlight because they want to promote the sexiness. Do you understand? So either way, what's amazing is make sure you never waste my time. Don't come here wasting my time. Understand? Have a nice, beautiful conversation with me or ask about my nice, beautiful business card or something like that. Because what's amazing is understand that if you're giving it in an incline or some kind of nice, beautiful melody where you have a nice, beautiful communication signal every single day, go and really dwell upon that every single day and find that nice, beautiful communicational skill that you have. I promise you everybody has that communicational skill daily, but you have to keep moving on the conversation. I promise you the conversation is to be moving around. I understand that what's amazing every single day is never waste your time. So make sure you understand that when people come on the nice, beautiful public speaking microphone with you, just understand to let them be, because what's amazing is understand that either way, the whole world can see. I understand that what I really understand every single day is finding a new attitude. I find a new attitude, I find new ways of really dealing with what I have every single day because it's my eye that's very important every single day. I understand the way I do that. I just took 3,000 photos of myself as well. You have to understand that is what I do. I understand that's why I do that. I understand because I'm always promoting myself. I'm always making sure I give that knowledge any way I can because that's how I really succeed. I succeed through making sure I understand what that is. I understand Glenn Boss, for example. I understand he's a jockey. I understand that what's amazing is going to promote everybody. I I understand every single day, go and find the nice, beautiful skills that you have. I understand that when you have skills, you'll come also and do a nice, beautiful leadership program with yourself every single day. But go and find something to say in front of a crowd. I promise you, when you do that daily, you'll be able to go and really suss out your nice, beautiful behavior every single day and understand that either way, that what's important is understand that when I go brand myself every single day, I brand myself in a different way. I change angles with my phone. I give you new ideas. I look for ideas with certain people. I look at the crowd. I understand I'm always looking at a new crowd in Sydney because I understand there's so many people. I understand that what's amazing is understand that when you go and brand yourself with photos, I understand I'm a fashion model, and that's why I understand every single day I make sure to go and deliver. I deliver my nice, beautiful program. I deliver my nice, beautiful photos every single day in my Instagram and YouTube. I make sure to go and upload those videos because I understand it helps. I understand every single day something helps about my life. So I'm here to just succeed for myself, and that's it. I'm just here to succeed on my own. I understand that's the whole point. I understand I don't need you guys. I understand that what's amazing is I just need I promise you that's why I came here. I never came for you guys today. I came here to succeed for myself. I understand that's so important. I realize it's so important to be able to just lift thyself because I understand either way that what's important is life is only worth living if you're growing people. I promise you, if you're not growing, I promise you then life is never worth living, is it? You have to be growing. You have to understand what you're eating all the time. You have to be understanding every single day where is the plant protein, because that's where you have to be going. You have to be going towards the plant protein. I make sure every single day now that before I eat dinner, I make sure I drink a soy milk. I drink 1 liter of soy milk, and before I even eat dinner, I feel like just eating a bit of dinner now because I understand that milk fills me up before dinner, and then I understand either way I feel full because don't you want to feel full when you eat? I promise you that's a soy milk. I promise you drink 1 soy milk a day in terms of life and you'll be healthier. I promise you drink 1 soy milk before you eat, you understand why you're always filling yourself with all the energy. I promise you it's very beautiful. Before I even eat dinner, I make sure I drink 1 liter soy milk, and that way I have 34 grams of protein for my 70, in terms of for my around 70 kilogram body that I have. I understand that what's amazing is understand that when you're modeling yourself, you have to understand that every single species in the planet can do something. You must understand that everything in life matters. You must matter for your life. You must understand how the world works. You must understand how to update people. I understand every single day I update people through knowledge. I do a lot of knowledge work, and that's why I'm a knowledge processor. I understand other people are meat processors. I promise you they like to process meat. I realize they like to chuck all these, let's say, meat into the freezer and it crushes the meat and all that. I realize they're meat processors. I mean, they say I realize that is not for me. I understand I'm a vegan. I understand I used to do that, but what's amazing now is I do information processing. I teach you about what you're doing every single day. I teach people different passions, and I realize when I teach people different aspects of life, I understand that's why I'm always communicating. I'm communicating so that I understand that no matter what, that today I have 3,000 photos of myself and more. I understand that's why I'm branding myself all the time. I'm making sure that you understand that is what a leader does. I realize after your branding photos, you have 3,000 photos of yourself, and then you come to a public speaking program for 1 hour and go do your video and then do some extra as well. Do you understand? So what's amazing is have 3,000 photos of yourself every day and more. Do you understand? So either way, that's what I do for my living. I understand I live to make sure my face is on camera and on photos and everywhere. Do you understand? So I understand Kim Kardashian. I understand she has sex with somebody and she's very famous. I promise you guys promote that. You promote sex with other people. I promise you that's amazing. I understand that what's amazing is understand that every single day is understand that if you want to become like Kim Kardashian, is just go, I realize it's just go have sex with somebody and then go and send it to all your friends and you become Kim Kardashian. I promise you it's that simple. Is it that simple to become famous today? Just have sex around and send it to all your friends. How much sex you're having with other people, and then they're going to share you around and they're going to say that you're screwing everybody over and all that, and then guess what, you become Kim Kardashian, don't you? Do you understand? It's so simple to become famous like that, but is she really helping you in some aspect of life? What aspect of life is she helping you with? I promise you either way, you must understand that those who really help you are speaking on the microphone more and more. I understand it's very easy to become anything that you want to be as long as you go and put your focus in it every single day. I understand that there are very serious people in life. You must understand I'm very serious about my growth. I understand either way that somebody is also very serious about you not succeeding. I promise you. I promise you, either way, you must understand every single day you go and find that success that you need. I promise you, every single day I go and look for those ideas. I make sure every single day I go on Netflix and I watch all those movies, but I watch it very fast because I understand my nice, beautiful intellectual process, which is making sure that I watch the images very quickly, and then I understand I never have to listen to the audio of TV shows and cinemas, because what's important is I understand that communication is very important. So when I communicate, and I'm a leader like that. I'm understanding every single day I change my communication in a different way. I understand that's what a leader does. You have to understand to adapt. You adapt your communication differently because you can never stay the same. You must understand you must be talking differently all the time. You must be doing something different. I understand every single day I go and do something different. I do it for myself. I never do it for you. I do it for myself. I understand that what's amazing every single day is understand how it is. I promise you, when you're giving people how it is every single day, I promise you that's why I succeed. I promise you, as soon as you walk away from me, you walk away from 700 hours of knowledge as well. I promise you it's fair. I understand that what's fair every single day is that I come and do my street performance in front of people. I don't care about you. I understand that what I care about is giving the knowledge. I care about giving the knowledge because why? Because I want to succeed. I want to succeed, and that's how. I understand when I succeed in different ways, and I make sure every single day that my being is much healthier. I understand I'm not like you. I'm not like you. I understand I love to have a trolley. I love to pump my music so everybody watches me. I promise you that's the difference between me and you. I understand I go in a shopping center or somewhere and I pump music all the way in Pitt Street Mall. I'm the center of attention when I come here. I'm the center of attention. I mean, everybody can see who I am. I mean, do you understand? I mean, that's how it is. I mean, understand, I don't want you to be just like anybody else. I mean, many people here are not even talking out very loud. I'm only talking out loud over here. I want you to be over there and start doing a public speaking event. I mean, what are you waiting for? I mean, come on. I mean, you're so smart. I mean, if you're so smart, I mean, go and do a public speaking event. I mean, that's it. I promise you it's that simple. I understand every single day I go and find those nice, beautiful ideas because I understand the crediment of life is understanding your credentials. And when you have a credential in life, you have to have successful credentials. You have to have high morals. You have to understand high morals and high vigor and high temper in terms of high temper in growth. You have to understand either way, you must have the vibrance of being alive every single day. And when you're alive, you have to understand I never use washing machines in my life. I never go do the laundry anymore. I mean, do you understand? Because why? I understand I get clothes and I throw them after 2 days. I get new clothes every 2 days, and every single day I get new clothes. I understand that's why it's very important to go and realize that when you do that, I mean, go and find yourself new clothing and then realize that it's not about impressing other people with your clothing. I realize it's about impressing yourself and wear the same clothes for as long as you want and then go and change your clothing. But have one set of clothing only. I promise you that's very important every single day. I understand either way, I want you on my nice, beautiful public speaking microphone. I want to have a nice, beautiful interview with you. Is it possible? I thank you very much. I thank you very much. I want to have a nice, beautiful... you don't have to. You don't have to, but I want to promote you. I thank you. I mean, come.
I think you've got it right.
I thank you. I'm just over here doing a lot of life coaching. I mean, do you have a question? I mean, I want to solve your questions.
Exactly right. They're the things. I mean, really, you know, we seem to have no common sense really anymore, do we?
I see. I understand that I realize that what's amazing about life is Jesus Christ. I understand either way that when we look at Jesus Christ in terms of life, I understand when you say no common sense. I realize it doesn't make common sense for Jesus to be killed like that. I understand that. But it's also understand that Jesus Christ has a lot of common sense in terms of his story, and then it doesn't make sense for how nice and kind he is, and then the world does that to him. I promise you, so you're actually honest. I understand that what's amazing is every single day I'm always focusing. I thank you very much. I thank you for the nice, beautiful gift. I thank you. I understand every single day I'm always looking for that nice, beautiful composure. I'm looking for the composure of life. I'm looking for a different way of saying something. I understand that every single day I look at something, I have to go and improve my nice, beautiful synonyms today. I understand that either way I'm running out of words. But I understand that no matter what, when I'm running out of words, I give you more words. I mean, understand? I understand what's amazing every single day is that when you want to call a lady something, you can call her a friend, you can call her a pal or a companion, you can call people different. You can call them different aspects of life every single day. But what's amazing every day is you say you are very inspirational for giving me your money or something like that. I understand that what's amazing is every single day find some new ideas to give. I understand that what's amazing every single day is finding that nice, beautiful courage to stand up in front of people once again and find the best technique in the planet. But just talk with yourself all day long. And it's very natural to be in front of people if you just go and really dwell upon it. I understand either way, I must always connect those words together. I understand every single day I talk more and more and more. I need more vocabulary. I need more synonyms. I have to understand that I've already delayed my life in terms of I understand that I've been delaying it for about 3 days now. I understand either way that what's amazing is today I'll go and connect some words together because I understand that's amazing. I understand every single day I go and find something new. I find something new to do because I understand that what satisfies me every single day is growth. I understand that. I understand every single day that when I go and really dwell upon something greater, I understand it's really look at your eye. I understand the eye is much more important than the eye is much more important than anything else in the world. So that's why I focus on giving my nice, beautiful name every single day. I understand when I do that, I go and focus upon giving different ideas. But I understand today I'm very happy because I understand either way that I'm always living my life to the fullest. I understand I'm giving my best to make sure that every single day I have a high performance. I understand either way. Today I have 3,000 photos of myself and it's been a while since I had that many photos of myself in a day. I understand although they have 300 posts on Instagram to make. I mean, you understand? So for each post that I make on Instagram is 10 photos. I have 3,000 photos today. So I have 300 posts. I understand either way that 10 times 300 is 3,000 photos. So I have 3,000 photos to post on Instagram of just myself. I understand that's amazing. So every single day is I just go and build that nice beautiful vocabulary of photos because I'm a fashion model. So I go and find all these different aspects of life to give you. I understand I always find those nice beautiful credentials. I find those nice beautiful tactics that you need. I find the strategies. I find the nice beautiful vocabulary I need every single day. But I understand I'm not running out of anything. I just love to give you. I love to give you something new. I go and look at the crowd every single day. I go and focus upon something I do every single day. But what's amazing is I understand that I go and focus every single day upon something that's giving. I understand when I look at somebody who's giving a lot of content, I go and really dwell upon that. I go and dwell upon people who are giving that content because they are the leaders of the world. I promise you, they're the ones that have a YouTube channel at least. I promise you, when you have a YouTube channel, you're a leader. But if you don't have a YouTube channel, you're never a leader then. I promise you, that's how it is. You need a YouTube channel today, you need an Instagram, you need Facebook, you need social media. I mean, do you understand? So realize this, you need YouTube today because either way, you have to have your own TV show. I mean, don't you want your own TV show? I mean, of course you do, so get on YouTube. I mean, isn't that beautiful? I mean, either way, I mean, it's a radio station. I mean, guess what? I realize YouTube's a radio station. It's a video station. I mean, go make some music and post it on nice, beautiful Mega Drive storage because that's where I put my online content. I put all my content in my nice, beautiful Mega storage online. I mean, go and check it out. I realize if you want a storage online where you can grab all your photos and videos and store it online somewhere, I mean, check out Mega Drive. I mean, Mega Drive is something that's amazing. I understand. I have over 1 terabyte of information in my Mega Drive alone, but I understand either way, I have over 500 courses in my nice beautiful Mega storage online. I understand either way, I download my courses very easily and it's very beautiful. I understand that what's every single day beautiful is making sure I come on the street and come and give a performance all the time because I understand that's important. I understand it's very important every single day to make sure I go and really dwell upon what I'm saying because when I say something, I'm always looking for a better idea. I understand when I look for a better idea, I want to interview you. Alright, I need you on the microphone over here. I need you to understand something. I need you to ask me a question. I mean, do you have a question for me?
What are you about?
I'm about life coaching. I'm about, let's say, giving you any type of information you want so I can help your business grow. I give you ideas. You can come closer to the nice, beautiful video over here. I have a nice, beautiful audience watching you as well. You can promote your name. You can promote your Facebook.
I don't have a phone. I don't have an email account. I don't believe in modern technology.
I see. So because you don't believe in technology, you have to understand that, for example, that nice, beautiful NFL ball is a technology. I promise you that bag is a technology. I promise you the clothes are technology. So
yeah, but I'm talking about the kind of technology that's supposed to bring people pleasure, and most people are using it for vainglorious ways to talk rubbish to each other rather than utilise it to use information to help better the world.
I see, and that's something that you must do because if you look at me, for example, I understand that some people are negative and some people are using technology for no reason. But other people, such as me, I'm using technology to upload this nice, beautiful audio to YouTube because I have 1 hour every single day I do video work in front of people. And then I help people who are millions of people in the planet with one video. And I do that consistently every single day. And then I make an online profile with my nice, beautiful fashion photos. And I make a nice, beautiful Instagram where all my photos of myself and stuff. And then I make sure to lead people like that.
I read this book once called Siddhartha by a guy called Herman Hesse.
I see.
And think it's the same Hermann Hesse was a war crime, war Nazi in Hitler.
I see.
Germany. And basically, it's about this guy who suffers penance to teach himself to acknowledge the truth in the world. And the longer he sits by himself and his penance, the more he learns that he's a man who's capable of much, because wherever he hears his voice in his head, he knows it's either God or someone who's trying to teach him how to be God. And so he gets up, he sits under a mango tree, he sits in a cave, and then eventually he gets up because he knows that if he doesn't get up and do something with all the information he has in his head, that it's all going to go to waste. But the moral of the story is, if you aren't God, then you shouldn't do anything, because this is what happens when you're not God. So there are two types of people in this world: people that like science and people that like religion. And the people that like religion say science is the death of the world, and the people that like science say religion is also the death of the world.
I see.
But because science says that God left us here on our own to become God and make all the answers for ourselves, then science is the ultimate answer to humanity. Because with science, at least we know how to go into space and do all these other wonderful things. But then religion sort of holds us back, because we're expected to turn the other cheek and, just live by commandments or morals, and not, because now with genetic tests, what they call it, genetic testing, embryo stem cells. That's what started the Second World War, because Hitler and the Jewish scientists in the 40s and 50s were doing stem cell research to create the perfect human being, the blue-eyed, blonde-haired Aryan race. And so the rest of the world said it was so wrong that they went to war, not because he was killing Jews, but because he wanted to create the perfect human being by the Germanic standard of the perfect human being. But now you can go to Mexico, you can go to Russia, and you can have stem cell operations because they pay prostitutes 1,500 rubles
I see.
to abort their fetus, so stem cells can be taken out of the abortion baby. So people who are sick or vain can have a stem cell operation because some unborn child has died to give them stem cells. But the true Aryan race isn't blonde-haired and blue-eyed anyway. The true Aryan race were Persian people with dark hair and dark eyes. And they're the ones that made the symbol, the back-to-front swastika. The one that means peace, for Egyptians and Chinese have used it. So the true Aryan race were dark hair, and dark-eyed people, Persians. Yeah. So science, like Oppenheimer invented the atomic bomb, and then came the hydrogen bomb. And so science has a lot to answer for when it comes to death. And at least religion tries to teach people to have a life. I don't agree with abortion, but I can't handle that men rape women and the woman's left to bring up the child by herself. So what do? How is a woman supposed to go to church and worship God, a man, and she goes to church and some idiot could rape her on the way she goes to church?
I understand that there are evil people on the planet, but I understand also there are positive people. And what you do every single day is understand that you have to be courageous. And you have to understand that no matter what, that when you look at Jesus, for example, I understand Jesus came here and he understands that many people are unaware of what they're doing. And either way, I understand either way that what Jesus says every single day is allow people to do what they want. I understand when you allow people to do what they want and be how they are, you'll always be more like Jesus Christ. I understand either way that what's important is I understand your attitude today because of what you're saying to me every single day. And the more you speak up like this, the more of a leader you are. And that's the whole point of, let's say, science in terms of what you're saying. I understand that when you're really looking at the beautiful technology today and science and everything in terms of life, you have to understand that the world is also understanding every single day that you must lead. You must understand every single day that no matter what we're going to be doing every single day in terms of life, you have to always lead yourself into greatness.
That's okay as long as, you see, before Boris Johnson made England leave the EU, 3 Prime Ministers in England left their Prime Ministership so they wouldn't be responsible for leaving the EU. Theresa May, Major and Blair all left their Prime Ministership early because they didn't want to be responsible for making England leave the EU and the start of the end of democracy. Okay? But as soon as Boris Johnson made England leave the EU, on national and international television, they marched him into a COVID unit and made him shake hands with COVID patients that were dying, and he got COVID from that. He didn't have a mask, he didn't have gloves, and they did it on TV to show that people, it doesn't matter whether you're the president of England or America, if you do something that the people that control the world and the money say is wrong, they will kill you, and there's nothing you can do about it. And Boris Johnson nearly died from the COVID because of that thing. He made England leave the EU, which is the start of the end of democracy. Now, in America, the Jews, that's their second home in America, especially in New York. Now, there was a guy called Bernie Sanders that wanted to be president, and he's a Jewish guy, right? But he was a socialist, and Jews hate socialism and communism so much they would rather have Donald Trump, a warmongering, redneck, white supremacist as president than a Jew who is a socialist.
I understand the controversy of politics.
But the thing is, it's all... People laugh about how the Kennedys are wiped out in America every year because they wanted blacks and Jews to have the same power as whites. But here in Australia, right, our government, the Hendra virus and COVID came from this country. COVID came from this country. 2 Chinese scientists were brought from China to CSIRO, and there's a CSIRO or Dow Jones Chemical Company in every democratic country in the world, and they all harbour infectious diseases. 2 Chinese scientists were brought from China to work in Australia on a vaccine for a pandemic that hadn't existed yet. So every year, trillions of dollars are spent on inoculation. That means a fear cycle is created by the government of every country in the world, especially democratic countries, so that people will, we're a surplus of pool of money. So people, when they become scared, they listen and they spend their money where they're told to spend their money. So if the government tells us you can't send your children to school unless they've had vaccination against rubella and German measles, you will go and get your kids German measles shots and rubella shots because you don't want to look bad in society and you want your kids to grow up healthy in school. So the government purposely plays on our fears so that the deceit isn't that COVID doesn't exist, the deceit is how it came. So everyone here is so more concerned about making money to pay their rent and mortgages that they're not asking the question, where did it come from? It didn't come from China, it didn't come from a bat, it didn't come from a pangolin. It started out as being a bat from China and then it went to a pangolin, and now people hate China, but no one really cares where it came from because they're all worried about making money.
I can say many people are trying to make money because I understand either way that money is not the way to go. But what you're giving in terms of today, I understand that when you're giving all this knowledge, I understand that's the biggest money in the world because it's about speaking up more. And most people are not speaking up. And that's why every single day I come on the street performance to help people speak up.
I listen to you every day I like what you do because you can stand here all day and talk to you blue in the face and people will ignore you because they're too busy about themselves. But in this country, if we didn't have welfare, there'd be 1,000 people sitting here listening to you right now because they'd be hungry. They'd be hungry inside for information about what's happening to their country and to do something about it. You know what I mean?
I'm always making sure that whatever's going on around the world with politics and all these China stuff and all this Bitcoin and currency and what the people are doing, I'm always updating myself about it. I'm always getting people like you to update me with information like this. So I need you always to understand about technology to put all this information into YouTube because we need a leader.
The government feeds on our fear cycle and we're a surplus pool of money. So if it's not... See, the refugees that come from Syria and every other country in the world that has war, especially about terrorism, they're all democratic people that like democratic people and Christianity, and they may be Muslim, but they understand that maybe Christ wasn't just a prophet, he was the Son of God. But because the fundamentalists in their country say that if you have any care at all for anything other than Islam, then you are a traitor to your own country, you can't live in your own country. They come here as refugees and they're despised. But they're democratic loving people just like everybody else. So what are they supposed to do? They don't want to live in their country and hate each other and everybody else. They want to give everybody else a chance. But because people see democracy, you know what democracy means? Women can wear whatever they want. That's all democracy means. Women can wear whatever they want, but they can't do whatever they want. In the 60s, a woman had to sit in the car outside of a pub in a baking hot car park. She wasn't allowed to go inside and drink beer with her husband. But 50, 70 years later, and it's not that much different, except they can dress however they like. They can wear short shorts and show their breasts off, and that's it as far as women's liberation goes. You know what I mean? They don't get paid the same money, they don't get paid, they don't recognise the same as men. The power struggle still exists. So in 70 years, not much has really changed. You know?
I'm always making sure to adapt myself. So every single day I'm looking toward billionaires and millionaires for that information. I'm every single day updating people about the insiders of what's going on around economics and politics and everything. And then I'm a life coach along the way, but I'm also a vegan coach. I'm also making sure I update you about every single knowledge on the planet. But I understand that what's important every single day is updating people and getting up on the microphone and getting up in busking in terms of life and start doing it.
Do you know, Martin Bryant allegedly shot 50 people in Tasmania, which changed the gun laws in Australia, right? The day before he did that, a politician in Tasmania got on ABC television and said it would take a massacre of 50 people or more to change the gun laws in Australia. And then the next day, Martin Bryant allegedly shot 52 people. Well, 2 weeks before he did that, he was found on a life raft halfway between Australia and Antarctica, almost dead, because he said he was about to be used to do something in his country he would never forget. And so he tried to kill himself before he got used. You know? So somewhere out there, our government is using power to corrupt people, to get them to do things. And now they say that this vaccine for COVID has nanotechnology in it that's going to make us do things against our will. And the people that are in government are born to be in government like kings are born to be kings. They're destined to do it, and they're destined to lie to everybody in order to get people to pay up and not buck the system. They don't want people walking around thinking outside of the box, you know, and saying, oh, you know, this isn't right. I'll talk to these people and let's do something about it, and then we'll go down here and eventually people will hear us and it will subvert the government and we'll overthrow them and change the way governments operate in this world forever. But the police, who are predominantly paid to put people in jail, they're not here to protect and serve, they're paid to put people in jail. And so when you're arrested, they present the facts as they see them to get an incrimination to send you to jail, and then you've got to prove you're innocent. It's not you're innocent until you're proven guilty. The facts are they say you are guilty, and then you've got to go to court and prove you're innocent.
I mean, Jesus says everybody's innocent because, Father, they do not know what they do. But then the police are always going and convicting people of just that they're guilty. But everybody's innocent. I understand either way that it's not about putting people in jail, or it's about getting people out of jail.
Yeah, but they get paid. they're supposed to have a quota. Every year they get given a quota, and they have to put so many people in jail and arrest so many people to prove to the government that they're able to get an increase every year and get paid their wage. It's like America. If the government shuts down the Senate, then people that work for the government, like the rangers, the parks, the police, they don't get paid. They don't get paid. So the police have to do their job to put people in jail to prove that they're worthy of their pay. And so you do anything wrong at all, and chances are you're going to go to jail for it before you prove you're innocent.
I understand that what's amazing, although, is making sure that what you're paying in life is what you're giving. I understand many people are confused about life in terms of what is pay and what is investment. I understand that when you're really paying something, you must be giving that wisdom. But many people are going in a 9-to-5 job today because they're forcing themselves to.
But see, what would have made this even better is 2% of the population owns half the world's wealth. If they really wanted an end to this COVID crisis, they should have said all debts are off. Right? People because they control the price of minerals and metal on the stock exchange. They control the price of pork belly. They control the price of pork belly. So everything that's bought and sold as a commodity is controlled by 2% of the population. And so if we decide to go to war against China, they won't be able to buy copper to make bullets, but the Allied forces will be able to have any amount of copper to buy. They still have to buy it, but it'll be cheaper than what China has to buy it. So these people control the price of everything. So all they had to say was all debts are off. People stay at home, don't worry about paying rent or your mortgages, right? You got to eat, you got to survive until we get this vaccine. And then people would have been able to not worry about going out in public. And look at us. We're all wearing masks. Not all of us are wearing masks, but it doesn't matter. We're all in close contact with each other. So if they really wanted an end to this, that's what they should have said. And that's why Greece gets bailed out trillions of dollars from the EU, because they were the first country in the world to have a hegemony. And a hegemony was the beginning of a police state, because until you had a hegemony, you did basically every country, every state in Greece paid Athens tax, and that was the capital city of Greece. And so they paid for roads, libraries, police, public baths, army. See, until the government was formed in Athens, people that lived next to each other, just say I bought a house next to where your house was, and there was no government agency where there were borders between you and me. So the army had to go in and diffuse any arguments between neighbours and measure out which part of the land belonged to who and whom. So that's when the government came in and started doing this stuff. Then the police had to do it.
That's
But
it.
ever since then, we've had a police state. And so basically, the army goes around doing international killing and wars, and the police does national crime, solves national crime. And it used to be called the police service, and it became the police force. Because when criminals started out thinking police and having cars that were powerful enough to escape police cars, then it changed everything. Do you know what I mean?
I understand. But what's amazing, although, is that when you're really living life, you have to understand that no matter how much information there is, you have to grow with that information that you have, and you have to go and find out more information for yourself every single day, and read all the newspapers. I mean, read every single YouTube video that you can. I mean, go and get every single book and go teach people.
You're right.
I mean, you have to. I mean, you're somebody of an expert in your field. I can already tell. I love to listen to you already. I understand you're my teacher, so I'm always quiet when you're talking. But what's amazing is when you're speaking up more about this, you get yourself the nice, beautiful intention to get up online and start doing it for yourself, because I understand that either way, you have that nice, beautiful talent to be giving that information.
People wouldn't believe me if I told them COVID came from this country, but the start of all this was the Hendra virus, and the Hendra virus definitely came from this country first, because a horse trainer by the name of Vic Rail proved that it was better to have harness racing in Brisbane because of the weather, and that was worth millions of dollars to Victoria. And so he went back home to his farm and died, right? And the police were called in and said it was a crime scene. Someone did it to him on purpose. Okay? And then CSIRO was called in by the government, right? And they cleaned it all up and said it would never happen again, and said that a bat urinated into a horse trough, which gave it to the horse, which killed the trainer, but the horse was still alive. So Hendra virus is a lot like rabies. You foam at the mouth. It's like meningococcal meningitis, and it can pass through bats. But bats have one of the strongest immune systems in the world, and so they carry this stuff, and they can give it to humans. But the police said that it was a crime scene, that it was done on purpose, and then the government came in and cleaned it all up. And the CSIRO is a government agency. You have the think tanks. You've got the government of strategic thinking, and, you know, all these other agencies that work for the government that utilise this fear cycle in us to get shots every year. Because in the last year since we've had the COVID, who's heard of the flu? Last year, people were dying of the flu. Now, no one's dying of the flu. People are dying of COVID. What happened to the flu? No one gets the flu anymore. You know what I mean? So it's another fear cycle. It's communism, terrorism, consumerism, whatever it is. It's a fear cycle that they use to get us to live under a blanket, so that when the only way to protect yourself is continually pay. You've got to pay. And so if you don't, then what happens is your kids go out without having a rubella or German measles shot, and they get German measles someday from someone that, you know, and they die. And so the parents are so distraught, they never do it again, and their cousins would never do it again, you know.
I see what's important is to understand that you always have to be happy. You have to understand that no matter what's going on around the world and what happened 50 years ago or what not, you must be teaching it today. You must be going online right now. You must have a YouTube channel at least. And then go and be giving that information in a podcast by yourself and understand that you have something to say. I thank you very much. I thank you. I never touch anything, but I love you very much. I love you very much. I thank you for the information. You can always have a conversation with me. I thank you, sir. I thank you. I understand, although, that what's amazing is understand every single day, be talking about the coronavirus and be talking about people and what they're doing daily, and understand to be updating yourself about everything. So this gentleman over here gives some kind of information. So understand to be going and giving that information daily by yourself. I understand I'm by myself today. I understand every single day I'm going and focusing upon giving that nice, beautiful information daily, but making sure they understand that when people are talking with you, I mean, understand to just make sure that they are speaking on the microphone much greater. Understand that what's amazing every single day is I focus upon giving a nice, beautiful quality audio every single day. So understand I swap the nice, beautiful microphone in terms of my nice, beautiful interview with that guy. I understand that what's amazing is his name's Anthony. I understand either way, every single day, understand that when you're talking to somebody who is talking on a microphone where he's not very loud or she's not very loud on your microphone, I mean, give them a louder actual microphone, such as this one, because I understand my other one is much more softer because that's the guitar jack. I understand this one's actually the microphone one, so give them the actual piece of microphone that's actually very loud. So even if they're talking, let's say 30 centimeters away from the microphone, you'll still be able to hear them in your nice, beautiful audio. So every single day, give those ideas, but understand that when I'm talking to people, I make sure I listen to them and what they have to give, because I understand I'm a student. I'm always a student of life. I'm always making sure I'm learning about every single piece of information out there, because I want to give that information to other people, and I'm a messenger of God. I'm a messenger of you. So when you give me nice, beautiful information, I will go and spread it around. I promise you, it's about sharing knowledge, and it's about making sure every single day that we have a greater life for ourselves. I understand that what's important is make sure you're inspiring people. So when you're inspiring people, I mean, let them talk fully, and then just inspire them to be able to get on the phone and get technology from themselves, or make one YouTube channel and just start it. I mean, just start doing that nice beautiful content, such as him, or such as me, or such as anybody. But make sure you have just have one YouTube channel, and just start giving just give that knowledge. I mean, do you understand? So every single day when you're doing that, you'll become famous and you'll be greater. You'll be understanding much more clearly about what you're doing every single day. So when I do that, I'm always inviting people right now every single day to come and speak on me on the microphone sometimes. I understand when you speak with me on the microphone, I understand either way I'll listen, and I'll also understand to promote you. I understand that's what it's all about. I understand when you're promoting people daily, you find better ways to do so. I understand either way, every single day, I'm focusing on the better life. So understand that either way, that those women who are afraid of other people, you must learn to fight. Learn some combat skills. Go and learn some self-defense mechanisms. Do you understand? Go and understand never to be afraid of anybody. Do you understand? I understand that there are people out there who will rape people. I understand all that. Make sure that you self-defend yourself. Do you understand? Have self-defense in you. Understand that either way, that you never be afraid of anything. I promise you, Jesus doesn't want you to be afraid. Is Jesus afraid when the whole city wants to kill him? No. Come on. It's easy to kill somebody. Do you understand? Try living life up to 100 years of age. That's something of a goal. So when you're understanding that you never ever get disappointed with yourself, make sure that you understand that this piece of information that Anthony gave is just a bit of information. So guess what? Don't believe in that information. Believe in something more. Do you understand? Because question it. I understand he updates me. I understand either way. That information, I grab it. But guess what? I need more of that. I need more of it. I don't want to just stay there. I understand that information updates you upon Australia and what happened around the world. I understand either way that what's amazing is understand to get that information more and more so that you can have a bigger picture, because don't just go by his word. Do you understand? Because that's his word and that's some of the information that he gave you. But don't just go by that. Do you understand? Get more stories and get more information so that you can have the bigger picture about what's going on. Because if you just stay on the 1 minute of information all your life, all you're really going to be doing every day in terms of your life is 1 minute smart. Do you understand? So when you're going and really, let's say, invest in yourself every single day to have much more than 1 minute, understand that what's amazing is every single day find much more information so that you can be more. Understand every single day that when I go and be much more, I'm always much more than what I am. I'm always making sure I go back to the I. I understand every single day I'm focused upon giving that knowledge in different ways. I expand my context all the time. I understand that context is something that helps your vocabulary, let's say, to talk every single day. And when you're talking and when you're communicating and understanding how to be enthusiastic on the street sometimes, you understand either way you must be doing it daily. I understand either way that what's amazing every single day is focus upon a greater lifestyle. I focus on the world's trends, I focus upon Jesus Christ, I focus upon every single information out there, but I make sure to deliver as much as I can in different areas. So I'm always balancing the equation. So I'm not just talking about politics. I understand either way that Anthony's talking about politics and other aspects of life, but guess what? I understand that either way that what's amazing is talk about every single aspect of life in 1 hour. Do you understand? So your whole 24 hours has a certain amount of information and ideas. So be giving that every single day within 1 hour of a video, and then do it in front of people as well. And then you'll be much more for it. You'll be much better. You'll be understanding every single day you have something more to give. And when you have more to give, you understand how to do that. Unfortunately, it's very important that you go and really be on video camera every single day and focus upon a greater life for yourself. I understand every single day I focus upon something greater. I focus on a better me in terms of a better I. I understand although it's I over me. I understand that when every single day I focus upon giving, I understand that's how I really succeed. I succeed in all ways. I succeed in every way that I can, because every single way in the dictionary is knowledge. I promise you, every single word out there, you have to understand it. You have to be it. You have to be every single word in a different way. That's Jesus Christ. Do you understand? Every single day find better words. Find the best word and go and give it. What's your best word? I understand either way it's a sequence of information. So be giving that information daily upon everything. I understand either way that what's amazing is go and summarize what people say. When there's a video and you have no time to watch the video, go and summarize the video. Summarize it for yourself. Do you understand? So out of 50 billion words, go and find, let's say, one sentence of, let's say, 20 words and summarize it. Summarize the occasion. Summarize the people around here. I understand it's quiet. I understand people are walking around. I understand people are cheered up in terms of I see people cheering as well. I understand either way that what's amazing is I'm cheering. I'm cheering every single day. I understand that what's amazing every single day is find something much more to say. I promise you, when you're finding much more, find some ideas. Go and build your legacy every single day and find those leadership qualities that you have. I promise you, everybody has leadership qualities. And what is leadership quality? I promise you, a leadership quality and leadership qualities is just information. I understand it's just information. I understand is information. I understand it is information. I understand every single day I'm focusing upon understanding that after a question, have your eye in place. Do not miss the eye. I understand everything in life is know your eye. I know I only. I understand that's the only aspect of life I really know, which is my eye. I understand every single day I focus upon really giving that information daily, and then I go and focus upon my lifestyle, focus upon different areas like eating and drinking, and making sure that I have no refrigerator in terms of I have no refrigerator. In a sense, so I have everything, which is my eye. I understand my eye is much more important than a refrigerator in terms of a refrigerator. Do you understand? So either way, what's important is I have everything that I ever need. I understand that what's important is understanding that you don't need a fridge, you don't need a laundry machine, you don't need a plasma screen TV, because guess what? You want to be traveling around the world, don't you? I understand. Are you going to bring your plasma screen TV with you? Come on. Are you going to bring the stove with you everywhere? Come on. You don't even need a stove anymore. Do you understand? You don't need a TV. You have your phone. Your phone's your new TV. So understand YouTube is the only TV today. That's the only TV channel. There's audio podcasts, and that's a TV channel as well. That's a radio more so. But understand that TV, in terms of this, is a radio channel as well. So every single day I extract the audio from this video, and then I post it up online, and I make sure every single day to be much more professional about what I say and what I do. But I make sure every single day to show up in front of my nice, beautiful performance. But what's amazing is during my nice, beautiful speech with Anthony over here, in terms of my interview, I understand either way that I can go to Marketplace and do some extra in my video, because I understand that what's amazing is I can always understand that if somebody wants to interview myself or be in an interview with me for about 2 hours of this nice, beautiful film, I understand either way that what's amazing is I want to be giving more information than just listening and reading from them. I want to be doing the information. I don't want to just be listening. I want to be listening and doing the information. That's why I'm doing this video. So every time I understand that when somebody comes into my video or something like that, I extend the video differently. I go to my own place, and then I make sure I connect the videos together, and then I make sure either way that I have more coming up. I understand either way that what's amazing is I have over here 2 hours. I understand either way that what's amazing is I just go and focus upon really delivering that information quality that I have. I understand the information every single day is a commodity, so that's something that grows. You have to be growing with life. You have to be growing every single way in every single time. I understand either way that every single time and way that you have is an idea. So focus upon giving those ideas differently, and then you'll focus upon your I. So realize that you can never fail when you speak the word I love you. I promise you that's the most aspect of life, where it's the best aspect of life. So when you have the most aspect of life, you understand information. Either way, understand that when you're going and really performing on the street, focus upon your I and go and talk about it. Talk about your I more, and then you'll understand how you're really going to get through the Nice Beautiful seminar, or through the Nice Beautiful public speaking program, or singing event, or whatever you're doing. But if you're doing a Nice Beautiful, let's say, lyrics page or something, I thank you. I understand I'm always focusing upon, let's say, writing the Nice Beautiful lyrics upon IUQ rule. I understand I start my sentences with I start my sentences with you, I start my sentences with a question. I end my sentences with I end my sentences with you, I end my sentences with a question. I realize that's how you write lyrics. I realize that's how you actually do script writing. I realize that's how you actually talk. That's how you actually live life. You live life to the best of ability that you can, because that's how you really do life. I understand every single day I focus upon my life, I focus upon planning, I focus upon making sure that every single day I have more. So when I have more, I'm making sure every single day that I encourage people to be the best they can be, because that's very important, isn't it? I promise you, it's very important when you have so much to go with your life, and when you have something different to say all the time, you're going to find different techniques and different strategies to go and live your life differently. So when you're going and really focusing upon what to say every single day, focus on yourself more than other people, and you understand how you actually become a public speaker. I have to focus on myself and what I say more than what you're doing. I understand that what's important is what I'm doing. I understand when I do something, I go and really do that information. I do the information, and then I understand, and then I give it. I give that information differently, but I make sure to be fast about giving that information so that I can succeed faster. I promise you that's the whole point of life, is living life faster like the bunny rabbit. where it's the bunny rabbit and the turtle. But understand the bunny rabbit this time will just run, outrun the turtle and just keep running and finish the race. There's no puffing out over here. I promise you, there's no puffing out when you're communicating more and more and more. I promise you now, do not be the turtle when you're communicating. Do you understand? Because the turtle sounds like this. I understand when you go, when you go and do something like this or something. That's a turtle. You understand? So when you're speaking fast like this, I realize that's a bunny rabbit. Do you understand? You have to be a fast talker. Don't be like the turtle when you're really, let's say, speaking fast. Do you understand? So realize, either way, you must understand that when you speak fast, I realize you'll encourage other people, you'll be doing something of favor every single day, and you find ways to grow, you find a different idea, you find a beautiful scenario or place within you where you can understand every single day you'll grow in front of people, whether you like it or not. I understand either way that what's amazing is when you're growing and you're famous, you'll love it. You'll love fame. I promise you either way that those who do not want fame, I understand that those who do not want fame are the ones that are not confident first. I realize they don't want to admit it. So I realize they will never say what the problem is. Do you understand? Because guess what? I realize there is no problem. I understand that what's amazing is understand that they don't want to admit something that you say. I realize if you say something, I realize they'll say something else. I understand that it's about agreeing. You must agree. When they say something about information, I say, I agree. I agree about that information. I agree with you. I agree about what's happening. I agree with that. I agree with everything you say. Do you understand? Because when you agree, you can move forward the conversation. But if you disagree, you then have a debate with them. You have an argument. So have no arguments in life and have no debates with other people. But make sure you're always making sure to agree with them upon what they say. I understand this gentleman over here is always giving that knowledge. So when you're giving that knowledge, I understand that what's amazing is I never want to interrupt him when he's speaking. I understand that what's amazing is let them talk all the way so that you can be updating yourself along the way upon what his story is. Because when somebody's speaking up, you have to understand it's really that they want to be more of a leader. I understand that if you have no technology, get yourself a YouTube channel today and that's it. That's all you start with. But make sure you understand that I have an online storage. I have an online mega storage online where I post all my photos and all my videos and all my files and all my journals and all my quotes and all my everything in terms of that you can have in a phone. I post it up online, and that way I never lose it. I never lose my photos. I never lose anything on mine because it's up online and it stays there forever. Do you understand? So every single day I'm focusing upon giving that knowledge every single day in a different way, and then I focus upon making sure that I have the courage within me to make sure I go and really lead. I understand when I lead something into leadership, I understand that is how you give information. You go and connect those nice beautiful words together every single day, and you focus upon looking at people and having a different conversation with yourself all the time. I promise you it's very important that when you're really living life for yourself, you're understanding every single day that what's important is go and focus on yourself rather than other people's reactions. I promise you that what's amazing every single day is focus upon what you're saying every single day. I promise you that's how you really live life. You live life to the fullest. You have to be living life to the fullest every single day. I understand that is how I really live life. I live life making sure that I have always much more respect for myself, and when I realize when I have more respect for myself, I make sure I update myself through Twitter and I update myself through the nice beautiful YouTube as well and Instagram as well. So I'm always going through those photos on Instagram and Google Drive and all that Google stuff. I understand that any word you want to search up, go and look at all those images. I realize you'll learn a lot about images. I realize now I'm always going on Netflix as well and learning about all those TV shows and everything. I'll go and learn very quickly upon life. I understand when I learn very quickly upon what I do, I'm always much more better than I am. I understand either way that what's amazing is understanding your pronunciation about your life and understanding how you're really going to talk today. I promise you those who actually can talk in a different way can find new skills and new strategies to speak and expand their life in a different manner. And then when you're doing that, focus on your life and focus upon what you're doing, but make sure you're giving the best you can every single day. And that's the whole point of a public speaker. And I realize it's all in the world that you understand that when you go and live inside of yourself, you understand how to really speak. I promise you have to be making sure every single day you have to be focusing on the inner world. You have to understand that inner world is the leadership world, but anything outside of yourself is something that you don't say I love you. I promise you must say I love you. So when you say I love you, you're focusing inside rather than outside. I promise you that what's amazing every single day is focus upon the I and make sure every single day that you're always looking for ways to develop your life. You have to understand every single day that if something's holding you back, you must understand to push through it. You must understand to overcome it. You must understand every single day that there's more to do. I promise you, when you're doing more every single day, you're giving more, you're understanding every single day there is some more ideas that you can give. Understand every single day, it's focus upon thyself every single day and focus upon the beautiful life that you have. I promise you, everybody has a beautiful life, but you have to be giving. You have to be giving so that you can receive. You have to be receiving so you can give. You have to understand that life is the yin yang of everything. So when you're doing that daily, focus upon never ever dragging yourself down and never ever drag other people down. Make sure that you're always lifting people up, because that's what it's about. I promise you, it's about making sure that we're all encouraging people together to lead, and that way we're going to be leaders. I promise you, that's how I really live life. I live life differently. I understand that when your teeth hurt, I understand when I realize when my teeth hurt, I understand either way that what's amazing is go and find a new set of teeth. I promise you, either way, you must understand you get yourself the screw-ons. Get yourself the screw teeth. I understand either way, you can put screws in your teeth and get yourself other teeth. You know what I'm saying? Simple. What's amazing is understand that the dentist, I realize when you go to the dentist today, I realize they're going to say you have very bad teeth. I promise you, the first thing they say is you have very bad teeth. And then they're going to say you have to fix this one and this one and this one and this one and this one. I realize either way, what's amazing is go to the dentist less and less and less, but understand that what's amazing is when your teeth really hurts and you have to dig it out, go. Only go to the dentist when it really hurts your teeth. Don't go to them to check up, because they're going to say this one's bad and this one's bad and this one's bad and this one's bad. And they're going to say your whole set of teeth is bad and we need to exchange them. Either way, what's amazing is understand that when your teeth really hurt is when you go. Either way, you get yourself the screw-ons. They may be $2,000 each or whatever. But understand either way, you can get a set, you can get some deals together. And guess what? I realize that eventually your teeth are going to fall off. But get some screw-ons. Get nice looking teeth, and it's around $10,000. But guess what? You can get it in Thailand for $300. Go to Thailand and get your nice beautiful teeth at Thailand or somewhere where it's cheap. But not cheap, but affordable. I never go for what's cheap. I never go for what's expensive. I'll go for what's affordable daily. So I'll go get my teeth in Serbia, or I'll go to Africa and I exchange my whole teeth, because they can do it. I realize they can do it for $1,000 instead of $20,000 in Australia. There's a big difference. So when you're looking for a surgery as well, go to other countries and do a surgery. If you need anything like a boob job or something like that, I don't know what you need, but understand that other countries like Thailand and Serbia and Croatia, they do the same thing for more affordable price. Either way, understand that. What's amazing is understand that I don't want you to have a surgery. I want you to understand that you look beautiful the way you are. I don't want you to get a boob job or anything like that. I understand that everything looks beautiful the way it is. I understand that what's amazing every single day is focus upon something that you love to do. I understand either way that when you're really loving your life and when you're really focusing upon something that you need to do, just make sure either way that you're always looking for that nice, beautiful material that you have. I promise you, when you have a material or something that you're really giving upon knowledge, I promise you, everybody has knowledge. You must be giving that knowledge every single day. I understand either way, I want to interview you. I want to speak with you on the microphone. Come here. Either way, I understand that you're looking at me for 5 minutes. I'm just talking about something, but do you have a question?
So what are you...
son. You can have that one.
What are you talking about today?
I'm talking about I'm talking about actually every single area of the Bible and information about today and coronavirus and health and the public and how the public speak and how to communicate and leadership. I talk about all ranges of information. So my passion is your passion.
Yeah.
So I'm making sure, what is your passion?
I guess my passion is... Sorry.
I have no worries. When you hold the microphone, hold the microphone like this. You put your lips like this, put it on top of your finger. So do this. Copy me.
Yeah.
And now speak. Because I understand that when you go like this, when you do that on your lip, after 2 hours you have a big blister on your lip. So that's why I cover the microphone head, because it's very rough. But when you're always scratching your skin, it causes a blister and it causes a scar. So that's why I block my nice beautiful lips from going on the nice beautiful microphone head. So that's how you speak. So if you want to rap sometimes, you rap like this, but you never hold the microphone.
Yeah.
I understand. What question do you have? What is your passion? Why are you living today?
I guess my passion is life and free will, justice. Yeah.
I understand that when you go into justice, what do you like about justice and life itself?
Well, everyone deserves freedom of speech. Everyone deserves to be able to choose and decide for yourself with discernment. Yeah.
I understand that when you're deciding for yourself something, I mean, what's very important for your life where you can go and make a change for yourself today? Or do you have a question where you want to go and fill that up in terms of a void that you have maybe, or maybe you have a problem that I could solve?
I guess I just want to know a little bit more about your perspective.
I understand. So what kind of perspective do you want in the topic of the dictionary? I mean, what word comes up?
I guess just the general, like what's going on in the world at the moment.
I understand. So anything that's general, you must understand to be going and really, really lifting yourself and making sure that you're the best you can be. And I understand every single day I go and focus upon doing street performance. I make sure every single day that I have a YouTube channel, I have an Instagram, I'm promoting my business cards, I have a trolley. So I'm making sure that I go and give those ideas. So the general equation of life is making sure that you're giving. I understand that when I'm giving life, I'm giving also knowledge upon life. I'm giving knowledge upon what I do. I smile sometimes along the way. I understand that what's amazing is smiling all the time. So I'm always smiling. I understand when I go and really use my I, which is I love you. I understand that it's really important to do so. So I understand I'm always increasing my confidence on the street. I'm doing something that's very different along the way. But I'm always motivating people in a different way because that's how you lead. You lead different people every single day. And you have to understand that you have a certain crowd that you grew up with, but you need a new crowd. I mean, how many people have you grown up with? You have to understand you probably grew up with over 50,000 people. But let's find a new set of people and forget them. I mean, just let's move on. Because your parents are going to leave you, your brother and sister and your cousins and ancestors, I mean, everybody will die away.
Yeah.
I mean, either way, you have to understand I'm here for you. I mean, I'm here for the next 72 years, but I understand that what's important is, I understand bro, I understand sister, I understand either way. But what's amazing is I'm always focusing upon my nice beautiful life where I can give that knowledge. So we have to be working side by side. We have to be looking at the crowd. We have to be boosting our confidence. So I have over 110 hours now on the street while doing this. I understand it builds my confidence. So when I stand here and I look at people, I'm just talking about random stuff. But most people are never really truly listening to me.
Yeah.
But what's amazing is those people on YouTube are listening. And then I'm just talking about something for the audience who's watching me online. And not necessarily for the people that will walk around, but I understand either way that when you're standing there, I understand that you're really truly interested in I understand why, because I understand I always am talking about something different. But
Yeah.
you have to be understanding every single time that when someone is on a microphone speaking up like this, or when they're really a public speaker, or let's say they're doing a public speaking performance, I understand many people get ungrateful about that kind of aspect of life, because when you're doing it, I understand many people just walk away. I mean, they'll look at you and they will never pick up your business card and they'll never search you up. I understand that what's amazing is over 4 million people have watched me already in terms of Australia. I understand that. I understand, although that rarely will they follow you online or something like that. So either way, you have to be lifting yourself along the way, and you have to understand it's about the communication skill. So how much do you believe in yourself? You have to ask yourself that every single day, and you have to be saying, I believe in myself so much that I'll go and find the knowledge every single day to do so. I understand either way, I have over 600 hours of content online, so I'm always focusing upon different areas of life. So when I talk about something in my nice beautiful video, I title it as something, but it doesn't matter what the title is, because what matters is what's in the video. I'm not sure, I can talk about, let's say this video, I could say how to be pretty or something. I mean, it can be how to be pretty, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it's just for girls. I'm not sure it's about life. I mean, either way, that I understand I can name my titles of my videos anyway, in terms of any type of way that I can, but I understand that what's important is the video itself in terms of the knowledge. And you can never skip that knowledge that I'm giving right now. You can never skip it. You have to find out about that. So every single day, you can find this nice, beautiful 5 minutes of information I gave you.
Yeah.
I mean, imagine how many people I could teach with that.
Yeah.
I understand billions of people will be watching this over time. I understand either way, that 5 minutes helps people. And billions of people. So every single day I'm adding to the equation. I'm looking to compound interest in terms of wisdom. I'm looking to find out how to be much more of a gentleman and much more of a guy and much more of a man and much more, let's say, to mature myself into greatness and making sure that I'm famous, just like Justin Bieber. I say I admire him because he's more famous than me. I understand, although I'm much more skilled than him, I have more skills than him. I understand that what's amazing is I'm teaching much more than him as well. I understand I deserve that. I deserve that Beyonce legacy and all that. So I'm looking to understand how does it feel? So I have to get up in front of a crowd every single day and have to focus upon really communicating my way there. But also I'm a rapper, I'm a music producer, I'm a vegan, I'm sober. So I have an Instagram, I'm a fashion model, so come and check it out. I understand either way that what's amazing, I have a YouTube account. So I only have YouTube and Instagram and a mega storage online where I post all my nice beautiful content. So anything that's an online storage, we post all your information. And it's like a website, but it's an online storage where you can put all your videos of when you were a small girl and stuff like that in terms of all your photos, and it will be safe somewhere.
Yeah.
And I realized either way, that's where I put all my courses as well. There's 600 hours of courses. I have over 50 terabytes and more I can put up online, with videos and images. So I make all my courses and all my images and all these PDF files, I put them online, and then I make that my website, and then I put that in my bio link. So anybody who wants to sign up can go and get 31,000 quotes I made right now. So I never have to go and post my quotes into Amazon anymore. I never have to go and post my quotes like a quote book or something like that into Smashwords and Kindle, because I have my own website and people can download 1001 quotes into their phone from my mega storage online. So it's very amazing. So every single day I'm giving you the nice, beautiful general knowledge that you need. So it's just the overall balance. You have to have your health up. You have to have the spirituality up. You have to be understanding that Jesus muscles is important. I mean, I understand that many women want to look like Arnold Schwarzenegger. I understand that. I understand that although look like Jesus Christ. I mean, how does Jesus Christ have muscles, and how does he walk, and how does he exercise? I mean, every single day you go and focus on your strength, which is Jesus Christ. So understand that when you're looking at Jesus Christ, for example, you understand that he has a lot of information. So make every single decision upon Jesus Christ. And what will Jesus Christ do today?
Yeah.
I'm saying in the way that if you're not interested about Jesus Christ, or if you are, understand that what's amazing is be more interesting, and also understand to be more curious about who Jesus is and who the Bible is and what is life and how to really live life and how to not damage life and how to make sure you're kinder and how to eat better. So find out for yourself all the knowledge, but make sure you're asking more questions and making sure that you're living life to the fullest and making sure that everybody around you is happier, because that's the most important aspect. So I'm always lifting people. I'm looking to really dwell upon my life in a different way. I'm looking to just be abundant and make sure I'm richer and find that nice, beautiful knowledge you need. So every single day I'm always making sure I find new ideas. I find better balance. I find a better skill that I can give, but I make sure I look for those skills. I have to be looking for those ideas to give you. I mean, I've been talking for 10 minutes, but I have to look for them. I have to look for that nice, beautiful sentence to give you. And then each and every single sentence leads to another sentence, because I've been practicing a lot.
Yeah. I guess for me, I just got a lot of anxiety based through past traumas of actually publicly speaking my truths.
I understand.
Yeah.
I understand that what you have to be doing is before you even public speak, I understand that what's amazing is go and write in your journal. I mean, have a journal and understand that you have a notepad in your journal. So you have a note system.
Yeah.
And what you can do in your note system is you have a blank page and then talk about your life over and over and over again and just keep writing. I mean, don't limit yourself upon how many words a day you have to write. Like, just go and start your chapter every single day and just start writing about your story. I mean, talk about girls around you. I mean, talk about your mom and dad. I mean, talk about your brother and make a story like Anne Frank. I realize Anne Frank is somebody from, let's say, World War II, and she has a diary. I mean, make a diary of your life. I mean, she has a diary of her life and what happened in World War II and how was it. I have a diary of my life, which is this video. So in 72 years' time, I mean, people are going to be watching how my life was back when I'm 28 now. I understand all that. Make your own diary and make your own journal and start with writing it first with physicality. I mean, start really writing with the typing first. I understand either way that today I may just sign a signature today physically, but what's amazing is understand that technology is evolving, but making sure that you're always using that technology and adapting to social media and making sure that you're learning business skills along the way and audiobooks along the way. So when you're going to the shop, you're learning about audiobooks, you're learning about how to read, you're learning about how to read faster, you're learning about how to speak. But to speak, you have to talk more. You have to write more. So I write over 50,000 words in my actual writing journal. I get my phone out, I type physically 50,000 words about myself a day and more.
Wow.
I mean, so that's why I can speak like this.
Yeah.
I mean, so when you focus upon doing that about your story, I mean, how does it feel to talk about your story every single day in 100,000 words or more?
I feel like that would be amazing.
I mean,
If
go
I
and do it.
actually did that, I'd probably be more confident to come here today and actually speak my truth if I did write down my story.
I promise you that what's amazing is eventually you get so confident about your story because you're understanding that the more you write, or else you'll see all these big words coming up, and it's because you're very smart.
Yeah.
But when you first start off, I understand a drug addict or somebody, when they first start off, I realize they have a trouble having a sentence and all that. I realized that was me before. I was a drug addict before. So I understand either way, I had the trouble putting a full stop and putting these commas and putting these question marks and putting these exclamation points and quotation marks and these abbreviations. And what do I have to start doing? I have to start going into synonyms and antonyms. I have to start connecting the words together. I have to understand that honesty is truth. And truth is confidence. And confidence is positivity. And positivity is proudness. And proudness is Jesus Christ. And Jesus Christ is excellence. And excellence is a nice, beautiful way to say an open field of vibration. I mean, either way, you have to understand, either way, you have to be connecting those words together. And when you're writing in your journal, you start with your story, and then talk about your story, and then eventually, you start talking about the world's strengths. And then you start talking about leadership. and then you start talking about health and veganism, and then you start talking about how you can actually help people in this area, and then you can go there, and this is your plan. And then you're actually planning in your journal, and then you post it up online, and I use my Mega Storage Online, where you can find my Mega Storage Online in my Nice Beautiful Instagram, and then you click it, and you can find my daily journals that I actually type. I type 50,000 words about myself every single day, but I make sure every single day that I'm always doing so in a camera. Also, I make sure that when I started my Nice Beautiful audio program, such as my video, I mean, it was about 3 years ago, I mean, I was doing it for about max 10 minutes, and I was not doing it in front of a crowd, but now I can do up to 6 hour seminars in front of a crowd. And more than that, I understand either way that what's amazing is frameworks. So when you're using frameworks and topics that you can talk about, then you can understand either way that you're developing yourself by making sure that you just have to be writing about yourself. I mean, the more you write about yourself, the more confident you get.
Yes.
Approach is that simple. I mean, what do I talk about today? I talk about myself along the way, and that boosts my confidence. But when I stand up in front of people, I realize it's double effect. I mean,
we are a reflection of each other. Everyone is.
You have to be a reflection of yourself the most. You have to understand that when you look at Jesus Christ, for example, I mean, be the reflection of Jesus, and look at that nice, beautiful attitude. I mean, delay gratification. I mean, don't go having sex with other people, because look at Jesus Christ. I understand that I realize that when you're always chasing other men or something like that, or women or whatever, I understand that what's amazing is I understand that they then will want to chase you.
Yeah.
I mean, why is that? I mean, understand to get more popular, and they will. I mean, either way, you have to understand that many women don't chase me. I understand I never chase them, but why? I understand because I'm focusing on myself. I don't want to focus on them. I understand that what's amazing is I understand that every single day I focus upon living my life to the greatest ability I can, and then I focus upon making sure that I'm not desperate for other people, and you must never be desperate for other people either. I understand that either way, that what's amazing is delay the food. I mean, delay the drinks. I mean, delay sex with other people. I mean, make sure you understand that's discipline. You have to understand that when Jesus doesn't chase other people, I mean, Jesus goes in front of a crowd and starts leading people, and you have to be doing that every single day, because that's what a leader does. I promise you that it's very easy to go to the brothel and to strippers today and just be around the women and men today. I promise you it's very easy to be around other people because they have no company, and you have to realize that other people just want to take away your time. So if you allow that to happen, and if you're always hanging around with other people, I mean, how do you expect yourself to have a great legacy?
Yeah.
I promise you have to be alone. So I'm always alone. I mean, there's no mum here. I mean, there's no dad here. I have my own mum and dad, but there's no biological dad. I mean, there's no actual biological family around me. I have no sister. I have a sister that's overseas, but I understand I'm alone over here. I understand that what's amazing, you're alone throughout life, but you have to be your own best friend. You have to be leading yourself, and you have to be leading yourself with grace in a way that you're learning, and go and really find a way to really communicate more. So the journal is a nice way, and also the video, and there's also audio work. So you can go and realize that no matter what, that you get very confident upon just talking about your story much more and more. But forget the ebooks. I mean, forget the printed books. I mean, forget about that. I mean, forget about uploading online to Amazon and all that, but keep a PDF and get yourself like an online storage or something. I mean, go check out Mega Drive in my Nice Beautiful Instagram, and then go and upload one journal a day. And one journal a day is like a chapter of your life. I mean, how many chapters of life do you have coming up? I mean, you have a lot of chapters, so you have another 72 years. So imagine in 72 years you write one journal every single day. I mean, that's like the story of Anne Frank, but differently written in your favor. I'm saying the way the Anne Frank story, you can actually tell what happened in her journal and how she wrote and what is happening. So I'm doing the same thing, but I'm doing much more than her. I understand I have more technology than her now. I have a better position. So when I'm doing that, I'm learning along the way how to talk. I'm looking at different people. I'm looking at different specifics. I'm making sure I'm growing. I'm making sure I'm doing fashion photos in my Instagram. So I understand every single day there's always more to talk about. I understand that when you want to relieve your anxiety, you want to make sure that you're writing your anxiety down. And what are you scared about? I realize, and now when you really write what you're scared about, you have to ask yourself, how do I overcome it? I mean, what are some ideas? I mean, write some 20 ideas how you can overcome anxiety, and understand that writing more and speaking up more is the only way to really relieve yourself of anxiety, because I was very scared to get up on this when I first started my videos. So either way, I mean, what changed? I mean, I realized that no matter what, I did 200 courses of videos before I even get to this public speaking program right here, because I understand that's important to be speaking up more, and then eventually you understand your information product, and then that's when you just say, hey, I'm so confident now about my information product that I'm going to talk about myself to anybody now, and I can flaunt myself. You talk about yourself so much that eventually you're just so confident about it, and then you understand it's just about talking about yourself more and more. But understand you don't have to be talking with other people about yourself. I mean, talk to yourself in your journal. I mean, when I'm speaking to this video, I'm just talking to myself. I mean, this video is not even going up yet. I mean, it's just me, isn't it? I mean, that's what I do with my journal. So when I write in my journal, I have 24 hours, I just write in my journal alone, and then I upload it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm talking to myself all day long, but there's no guarantees that this will upload unless
Yeah.
something happens. So either way, I understand I'm always expecting to upload it, but you never know what's going to happen. I understand either way that what's amazing is just know thyself. I mean, just know your I.
Yeah.
I love you. I mean, the only word in the dictionary that you must know is I for
Yeah.
insect. I mean, anything else that you know
Yeah.
is that you don't know. I mean, understanding any other word in the dictionary, you must never know.
Yeah.
I mean, just know your I. I mean, I love you.
Yeah.
I mean, just make sure every single day you're just boosting that mentality of yours. I mean, get the nice beautiful information and go and talk up on with yourself in terms of life, and make sure you're always looking to better your life in all areas. I mean, give those ideas. I mean, make sure that you're always inspiring people along the way, because that's what a leader does. And what is your age?
I'm 21.
You're very young. I mean, you're very young, so you still have a whole life ahead of you. But make sure you understand that journaling about your life is the first idea. I promise you. I mean, don't journal other people. I mean, don't go being a journalist on the news channel and journaling other
Yeah.
people's stories. I mean, go and journal your own
I
story.
think that's what I've been doing a lot lately, and I guess I haven't really felt the anxiety until this present moment about it, because
I
I've
understand.
just realized that I haven't been focusing on myself a lot more, and kind of putting my focus onto the external reality rather than my internal reality.
I see. So when you're talking about external reality and internal reality, what you're looking for is the I for I love you. So
Yeah.
that's what I just said just prior. I just gave you the answer, but you're still confused. I understand that what's amazing is understand I.
Yeah.
I understand you're here. I'm focusing on you externally. I now am focusing on I. I'm focusing on I can look at you. I'm looking at the crowd now. I'm focusing on him. I now am focusing right here. I drag myself. I
Yeah.
say I here. I am here. I understand I am here. I understand I may be looking at you. I may be looking at anybody. I can focus in the outside world. I say over here is where I am. I understand that what's amazing is I grab myself through the I. I say I am here. I mean, forget them. I am here. I understand she's beautiful. I understand I'm here though.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand he's beautiful. I'm here though.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not gay, I'm not bisexual, I'm not straight. I'm just I.
Yeah.
I mean, what's amazing is if you want to label yourself, you label the one word, which is
I.
I mean, every single sentence must start with I. I mean, that's how I get so confident today.
Yeah.
I understand. I talk. I welcome. I am confident. I realize that when I talk about I all day long, I realize either way that what's amazing is all you have to focus on in life is one word.
I.
I mean, either way, I mean, when you first start your sentence in the video, I mean, what do you start with?
I.
I mean, what do you end it with?
I.
I mean, and I realize, and that's how I really do life. I understand that no matter what, that when you're focusing on the outside, just say I. I mean, when you want to realize anything of, let's say, high interest and to mind your business more, instead of, let's say, doing anything to worry or something like that, you must understand to just say I. I mean, Danny said I. I mean, focus on I. I mean, why do I focus on them? I'm here.
Yeah.
I mean, just say I. I mean, speak out I. I mean, if you're focusing on too many other people, I mean, just say, Daddy said I mean, I is the way. I mean, they're not the way. I mean, what's amazing is every single day focusing upon a better life for yourself. When you're doing that every single day, you're focusing upon how you can really look at your interests, which is,
Sorry.
I mean, what's your interest?
My interests. Sorry. I was-
You see, you're saying and sorry, but you have to say I'm sorry. You have to say I'm sorry, and you have to say I over You have to say it. You say I over
I.
I over
I over
You have to say I'm sorry.
I am sorry.
You understand? Because you never say sorry, you say I'm sorry. Because that's what I'm talking about. Because you said sorry because you're focusing on the external world.
Yeah.
But when you say I am sorry, you're focusing on the inside world. And why is that?
Because I.
You missed out again. You missed out on your I. I say because. I mean, you understand? I say because. You have to say I say because.
I say because.
I say because. You don't start a sentence with because. You start every sentence with I. You end
Yeah.
with I. You start every sentence with you end with you. You start with a question, you end with a question. But what's amazing is understanding that when you're starting your words in a different manner every single time, you get lost. But start your words with one letter and finish with one letter. I rush it. Now, because I understand that inner world has what letter in it in terms of the first letter?
Sorry.
I mean, you said sorry, you say I'm sorry.
I am sorry.
You see, because
Yeah.
you have to understand you're focusing too much on the external world over here. And why is that? You see, you have to say I over
I.
I mean, just make sure your first word is I, and then, just flow with it. You can talk, but make sure your first word starts with I, and then just flow with other words.
I.
I what? What is next after I? You have to put some words together. I is the first letter though. It's very easy to understand that when you're speaking, your I, never say go for the I. Say I at least. I understand when I was public speaking before, I was always saying and 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 ah. Why? Because I didn't say I first.
Yeah.
I is, when you're public speaking, you'll understand that every single sentence I start off is my I. There's no other word I start off with. It never confuses me anymore. When you're starting with because and sorry and all this, I understand that you always get confused because there's many words. There's many words to start with a sentence. I choose one word only. I choose I. I choose, actually right now, I understand I'm much more, let's say, simpler, because I understand that the most simple way to start life is I and end with I. But then I also put the you. I start with you. You must be inspiring. You must understand that when you grow up, you must be a star. You must understand when I grow up, I'm always doing better than yesterday. I'm starting with the you. I start with the you and I and Q, which is my IUQ rule. I understand either way that what's amazing is you start with one letter. I understand that Jesus says don't cut your eye, don't cut your eye out.
Yeah.
Or else when you say sorry, you're not doing what Jesus says. You didn't say I'm sorry. You said sorry. Jesus says to say I'm sorry. The I. Forget the eyes. Either way, don't chop off your eyes. But what's amazing is when Jesus says don't cut the eye off. Instead of saying love you, you say I love you. That's how you build your confidence and anxiety in terms of how you get rid of anxiety. So anything that's external in life is starting off with no I. Do you understand?
Yeah.
You say I say yep.
I said yes.
I say yep. You have to say I say yep.
I said yep.
I say yes. I say no. When somebody says yes or no.
I say no.
I say no.
I say yes.
I say I agree. I understand. My first words over here is I will help you all people. I will help all of you people today understand something. What's the first actual word that I said?
I.
I welcome you all today. I understand every single day I'm focusing upon my life. I'm focusing upon my life. I understand in a way that it's about myself today. But it's not about myself, it's about my I. I understand it's not me, myself, and I understand it's I and me and myself and I. I is first. What's the first letter of the alphabet? I say thank you. I understand that what's amazing is understanding I, A, B, C, D, E, F. They're teaching people that it starts with A. But it doesn't start with A. The first word of life is I, and that's the God's word. When they say that the book of life is, let's say, God, it's I. Now, you have to understand that the world doesn't start with God. The world starts with I and ends with I. Either way, that when I speak, every single time, I look to focus on how many times I can say the I symptom, which is the I factor, which is when I speak for I love you. I try to speak that one word in my beautiful video 50 billion times, because that's how I focus on myself. Or else that if I choose to cut it away, I then say sorry, I start focusing on other people, I start focusing somewhere else other than I.
Yeah.
I want to speak the I, so I don't want to focus on other people. I want to speak the word I. Because when I speak the word I never focus on other people anymore. I understand that they're there. I'm focusing on what I have to say because I stick to my communication school because I am now here because I understand there are people over there, but I have something to say over here. So I'll give an idea on how to connect the sentences together and how to really lift because I always keep coming back to the I. I understand although I start the sentences again. I understand this, I understand that. But when I go and grow, I then understand, but I just realize I have to go this way because I have something to do over here because I understand how to grow. I understand either way, that's how I connect sentences. I understand that's how I really go. But do you see, for example, when I say, I understand how I do sentences, I now. That's another sentence. I now. I understand how to grab the trolley. But now, I connect the sentences together to speak again, I realize that when I say, I understand how to grab the trolley, I realize now the sentence finished. That sentence that I said, I understand how to grab the trolley, that's one sentence. But then there's a gap in between and then I say I again. Alright, now for example, my nice beautiful album where it's lock bits, for example, I understand that now it's I, lock bits I. I mean, why did I connect the words together? I. So for example, lock bits. I mean, what does lock bits represent?
I don't know.
I mean, lock bits is, let's say, a past tense word, or it's a past tense. So when I put I, lock bits I mean, what does it become now?
I lock bits I becomes past tense and present.
You actually become the I, because for example, when you say I, one, in terms of number one, I, number one, I mean, what word are you right now? You're I.
Yeah.
But why? I mean, but why are you number I? In terms of why are you actually I after that?
Sorry.
I understand, although you have to say, I'm sorry. I understand that what's amazing is I'll elaborate much more so you understand. I understand that, for example, when I go and let's say connect the words together, I understand that your name is?
My name is Azealia.
Your name is Azealia. I understand either way, I say your name is really I, Azealia I. I understand why, because here, you're really, your first name is I, and then Azealia, and then I again. But the I, for example, when I become, or else when I say I become the I now. Or else if I say I'm Azealia in I mean, now I'm I only. I'm not Azealia anymore. I'm that guy in I. Or else when I go in I again, I'm everybody in I. So who am I really? I mean, that's why I say I, Azealia, I. Because I become the I and not Azealia.
Yes.
But if I say I'm Azealia, I then am Azealia. I mean, when I say I'm Azealia because of I'm now I, aren't I?
Yeah.
I understand either way when I say I'm number one for I mean, I'm not really number one anymore. I'm number I now. I'm just I.
You're just
I look to always go I, lock bits I, because I want to become the I.
Yeah.
I want to become the I, not lock bits. And that's why I become present. Because I is present. But if you say I'm lock bits, you became the past. I mean, you missed the time. You labeled yourself lock bits. I mean, you're not lock bits, you're I. So if you believe you're actually Azealia, you're not Azealia, you're I. You're the word I. I mean, that's what everybody is. I realize how many people over here?
many people.
I mean, there's just I.
Just I.
I mean, everybody's one word, I. I mean, isn't that simplified for you?
Yeah.
I mean, I understand either way that what's amazing is, what's the distance between this and over here? I is the measurement. I mean, isn't that simple? I mean, what is this over here?
An I.
I mean, that's an I. I realize that's an I. You have to say that.
I realize that's an I.
I say yes, because that's how you really speak. You don't say the first word as an I. You say, I realize that's an I, because it makes more sense. I understand that what's amazing is you can measure time and space through the word I. You can say the measurement of that and that, or that woman, or that man, or that, in terms of what are they talking about in the TV shows today? I mean, what else can you talk about? I mean, there's nothing else to talk about other than one word, I.
Yeah.
I mean, you're always updating yourself upon that, because you're always making sure that whatever you're talking about, you're adding the I into the equation. So every single day, you're talking more and more. You're looking to really, really be profound and spiritual to make sure even when somebody is, for example, looking at you over here, you can invite them to the conversation, for example. I understand either way, I was very busy talking with you. So, for example, this man over here was standing over here. I could have said, hey, jump over here with us. I understand I was very unaware. But I'm learning something along the way. I mean, do you guys want to join us for a conversation? I have a nice beautiful microphone here. You can come. I mean, come over here. Come on. I mean, we're all having a nice beautiful conversation. I understand either way. What is your name?
Audrey.
I realize now, every single day, what are you doing to inspire life?
To inspire myself?
I mean, to inspire yourself.
Just working on bettering myself and investing in myself.
I realize, so when you're investing in yourself, I'm realizing every single day I'm looking to always add to the equation. So when you're investing in yourself, how do you invest in yourself? So that she can find out. I realize you can say something and then I will say something, but I want to be making sure I involve everybody in the nice, beautiful conversation over here.
So
I understand that I realize it's a leadership quality to be able to speak to everybody at the one time.
Yeah.
So she's asking, how do you invest in your time?
I invest my time in focusing on myself.
I realize now she's focusing on myself. I realize now I'm focusing on doing my videos in a way that I can go be general about my life and making sure I'm always giving ideas and making sure I'm always passionate about my life. So every time somebody comes in a nice, beautiful conversation like this, I understand we have a bigger hemisphere over here. I understand why is that?
Because there's more people and we're on the same vibration.
I realize we're on the same vibration. Why?
I guess, I don't know.
Because I
realize it's because I say
because I.
I say because I.
I because
I realize although I realize when you're really let's say involving other people, how do you do that?
I do that by being present.
I realize you see how I drag her into the conversation, and then I involve you also because I don't want to just speaking. I don't want to be just speaking to her, but then leave you out. I mean, I want to involve you and her, but then I just want to ask you the question. I want to be making sure how do you solve it, so then I can solve it, and then I want to ask you the question, and then you'll say something, and then I'll say, what do you think about that? And then you'll say something, and then here's what I think about that. And then I understand either way that I'm always involving people in the conversation. What do you think about that?
I
You
think
can come
that's
in as
great.
well. You can come in the conversation. I understand either way. We're all going to have a conversation today. I mean, come. I mean, what do you want to talk about?
Vegemite squeezy.
I realize now who eats Vegemite over here.
I love Vegemite.
I understand I'm the only one then that's not eating Vegemite. I understand that what's amazing about Vegemite is I never eat it. I realize why. I understand it's because of a lot of sodium. I realize now, are you familiar with veganism?
I am.
I realize although, are you vegan?
I am not.
You're not vegan. But what's amazing is when you're having a conversation with people, you have to understand why nutrition is important. I realize that when I eat Vegemite before, I understand it doesn't really satisfy me before in terms of my life. But what's amazing is I'm always looking to confront people and I'm always looking to have a nice, beautiful conversation with people. I agree with that. I understand that. I understand.
Vegemite is vegan.
I understand there is a lot of processed food out there. I understand that what's amazing is I go low sodium foods for when I'm eating anything that's, let's say, vegan food as well. I understand that what's amazing about vegan food is finding the nice beautiful nutritional style that you need, which is high plant protein and low sodium and high fiber and low fat food. You have to understand low fat. I mean, eat low fat. I mean, even if it's, let's say, hummus or anything in terms of peanut butter, I understand it's a lot of fat, but it's vegan. But you don't want to be eating a lot of peanut butter because it's per 100 gram, it's 50 grams of fat. So you have to be careful about how much, let's say, protein you're eating.
What if I like eating fatty foods, which I do?
I love to eat peanut butter, but I make sure I never overload on 375 grams of peanut butter a day. I mean, do you understand? Because that's 150. Per that is half a kilo of actual fat. I mean, I make sure I just eat maybe a bit of fat every single day of up to 100, let's say, grams. So I make sure every single day I find out my story. So either way, we're going to pass over the microphone to everybody because I only have 2 microphones, but I have to grab myself another actual speaker so I can have 4 microphones.
Okay. So would you say you're investing in your health by doing that?
I realize when I invest in my health, I'm investing in different areas of life. But I understand that every time you have to understand that no matter what you're doing, you must understand that there's always a way to compose yourself. I understand that you must always be asking questions. You must be understanding every time that there's always a conversation. But when you're having a conversation, you have to speak up. I mean, who has a question? I mean, you have to be asking more questions. So we have to be asking more questions today. I understand everybody needs an idea. I mean, who's got a question to give over here? I understand that when I have a question, I'm always looking for different answers and different ways of tactics where I can go and speak more. So when you're really, let's say, understanding life, I mean, don't be shy. I mean, understand to always be making sure we're lifting up people, and that is how we actually grow. I mean, do you guys have a question about leadership or about your life or something that I can give you a nice, beautiful problem-solving equation? I have no worries, thank you. I understand that what's amazing is understand that every single time, I understand that this gentleman and this woman here is very beautiful. I thank you very much. I understand we're always looking to make sure, I thank you. I realize that either way, I realize that it's something that I test right now. I test it because that's the first time I really had, let's say, 4 people in a conversation. But on the street, I realized that it's something different. But guess what? I realized that we're limited on microphones. I understand that what's amazing is I'm not limiting anything because I can go and grab myself another portable speaker. But I understand that when you're asking questions, I understand when I say, does anybody have a question? And nobody has a question, I understand I have to keep talking. I have to keep the conversation going somehow because I don't want to kill the conversation. So what happens is I invite people to have a conversation because why not? I mean, why not try it out and see how it is? But it feels good for me, but for them, maybe no. Or else for me, it feels good because I'm in the spotlight. And what's amazing is sometimes when you're even doing a Nice Beautiful street performance like this, I'm learning along the way. So you just learn, you actually have that Nice Beautiful equation. It's my first time doing that. So I'm upfront about it right away. I'm teaching you right away about that equation because I understand that what's amazing is now when I look back on, or I'm looking back on that situation about us 4, I understand that what could I have done better? I understand either way, I can ask them more questions. I can ask you guys more questions. I can be making sure to make them talk more. I was talking too much. So either way, what's amazing is go and find something much more spiritual. So either way, you found out the Nice Beautiful equation that when you have 4 people with 2 microphones, I mean, make them talk too much.
Yeah.
I mean, either way, when you're making them talk too much, I realize that guy's not going to go for dumplings, is he? Whereas now, either way, what's amazing is I ask them, do you have any questions? Whereas now, they have no questions. I realize that what's amazing is I have to keep talking to them. Whereas now, that shows me that they just want to go. I realize that he has nothing against me because he starts with the I have to go dumplings. I understand either way, I never have to go dumplings, but what's amazing is go and find out. I mean, I'm still learning like this, but that's something like a experience for me and us today. I understand either way, I'm always looking for a different way of communication, but every single day I'm learning about it. But what do I do now? I focus on talking about something else. I let that go totally because I don't feel embarrassed about I.
Yeah.
And why do I say I?
Because
Because I realize that embarrassed is a past tense word, but embarrassing is now. So if I say I'm not embarrassing, I just move on now. But if I say I'm not embarrassed, I then realize I'm not embarrassed because of I realize now because I say because of I realize I have to be in the present moment. I have to talk about I more so that I don't have to be past tense words.
I was able to see the equation play out through the conversation we just had with the other people here.
I understand. So I realize when we're looking at that equation, I understand let's say it's a bigger hemisphere and it's more people, but we have to get them involved and we have to have 4 microphones and we have to make sure that we're asking them more questions, but also making sure that if they are not answering questions and if they're, let's say, not asking questions, I mean, they're not being anything, let's say, foolish. I mean, they're not being foolish people. I realize they're actually being serious with us. But some guy recently comes on the microphone and says, I mean, are there any ladies around here that want to have sex? I mean, either way, I understand that guy's just wasting my time. So that guy's being foolish. I mean, that guy is not really serious about me. I realize he's actually saying, well, a joke. I mean, he's actually calling me a joke because he's not focusing on asking me a question and he's not really focusing upon a conversation. I realize he just wants to grab the spotlight to say something very foolish. I mean, either way, that these 2 beautiful people come here and I call them beautiful because, you understand? I mean, either way, that's what you do. You call people beautiful and that way we understand how leadership quality and high morals and communication works because we want to call people gentlemen and ladies and stuff like that. So we're always making sure we're lifting people up. But when we look at the Nice Beautiful equation here, we're just understanding we have to lift people. But if people don't want to ask questions, I realize you just keep talking. You have to keep talking and talking and talking and be the center of attention because when I ask you a question, I want you to be a center of attention. I mean, do you have a question? You can see, I want you to be the center of attention.
I see that triggers me.
I realize that I see, that triggers me. I promise you that's beautiful. So what's amazing is understand that when I ask them a question, I say, do you guys have a question? I ask all 3 of you. Russian, nobody says a question. So that's honest truth. I say either way, I say, I have to talk. I have to talk because I have to be the leader here and I have to make something with my words in a way that they understand my words. So that when you're really speaking much more and more and more, people are going to understand you more and more and more. I understand I recently had a Nice Beautiful interview with a guy over here. I understand his name's Anthony. I understand either way that what's amazing is I'm making sure I'm always focusing upon my life. But I'm just only I'm making sure I'm always talking about everything that I can, but make sure when I concede into giving some information about my life, I understand that it's more important that you realize there's always more to say and there's always more to do. So when you're really understanding that no matter what you are, you have to understand to be lifting people. I promise you, every single day, there's always information that you can give. I understand every single day you must realize that when I have a conversation with people, you must be adding to the equation. You must be understanding there's always more to say. But if you want to skip a word or something like that, I mean, you just have to understand I. I mean, go
I.
back to the I.
I.
I mean, if you want to skip life and if you want to skip a step or something like that, you have to say I. I is very important. I realize if you want to go to the future or past and you want to talk about something, you have to say I. Because
I
that's
is
how-
the first step.
I is the first step. I mean, there's no other better step than I. So when you're really when you're answering questions, I mean, you have to be asking questions like, what is the metaphysical realm of life? Or let's say, what is a nice, beautiful nutritional product that I can go and grab that makes my health the best? Or let's say, what is a nice, beautiful leadership tactic where I can go to anybody and answer the question? Or let's say, or I can go and let's say, what is the best method of life where you can go and be a millionaire? So when you're asking those questions, you have to understand to expand yourself, and then you say, what is the best information product in the planet? I mean, how do they actually make all this happen in the world? I mean, how do you actually live your life? I mean, what is your story? I mean, how to...
I see.
I understand. So you're always looking, you actually have to go and really think about those questions. You have to write a list down of questions that you want to solve for yourself and then solve them yourself. I mean, you may have 1,000 questions. I mean, write it in a journal. I mean, that little journal in your phone. I mean, you have a note system and you click on it, you have a blank page.
Little book in my bag right now.
You have a blank page, and then what you do is you write 1,000 questions and you solve them yourself.
Yeah.
And that's how you become an entrepreneur. I mean, that's all I do. I ask you questions, I solve them straight away in my video. So I'm doing that exact journal that is actually physical writing in my phone. I'm doing it actually physically talking it. So you have to either be doing writing or audio or video work. So either way, you have to understand that what's amazing is we've been here for about 30 minutes, but it's an amazing ride because we're talking and we're updating each other. And I've been giving you some ideas, haven't I? I've been giving you a lot of different tactics and my general equations and general life and how I bring people together and how I manage. Either way, I take the action really quickly because that man over here, I forgot to bring him into the
There was
equation.
people behind
I mean,
you
it's beautiful to bring him in. I mean, I left him out. I left him out because I didn't mean to. I was understanding that I was talking with you. I understand that what's amazing is I realized those other two, I make sure to go and grab them instead. So I make up for it. I make up for it in a way. But I understand either way that, for example, when they're, let's say, hesitating, you say, I need you. I mean, your first word, I need you. I understand you. I mean, in a sense, so either way, what's amazing is always understanding to bring people into your nice, beautiful conversation so that we can all be one family. Because when you're leaving people out, I realize it doesn't look good. So what you want to be doing as a leader is find those ideas and be speaking the truth every single day. And make sure that you understand every single day that when you have a question, just ask. I mean, it's very beautiful every single day to go and find, let's say, some kind of equation that you can solve. And then when you have a nice, beautiful equation, you have to understand that when I talk with you, I'm talking to those people too who are watching me on YouTube as well. So I'm talking for both. I'm talking in terms of what I've already said in a different manner, but I'm also answering your questions and what you have to give. So for example, with anxiety, for example, you have to understand there are many ways to, let's say, overcome anxiety, but you have to understand you have to live first, you have to live to 100, you have to be willing to overcome it, you have to understand, you have to be willing to be motivating other people, and you have to be willing to understand to stay away from the crowd and be alone. You have to be alone. So you also have to ask a lot of questions and find out how to eat and look better for yourself. I mean, go and fashion model yourself and don't care what people think about you because what they think is ego. I realize that most people are lost and they don't know what they are doing in life. I realize that what you need to be doing is be around mentors. So for example, with myself, I have over 30 mentors online inside of my YouTube right now that I always go and read from. I realize that I post YouTube videos, but what's in the YouTube videos?
Yourself.
I can say it's yourself. I realize that. I realize now when I can say that's a beautiful word, yourself. I realize that you must understand that when I start my sentences, I can say, I realize it's yourself.
I realize it's just.
I may say that. I never start the sentence with yourself. I can say I must say for you to put yourself first. I realize now I start with the you. I understand yourself has you in it. I understand, although what's amazing is that's the first time I've ever heard yourself as the first word. I realize either way, that what's amazing is I start with the you anyway. I say, you must realize, Danny Milivojevic, that when I go on YouTube, I realize the video has information. I realize now you gave me an idea. You say, information. I say, well, that's a beautiful commodity. I realize then you'll say, I can agree. I realize now I can ask you a question over here and I can say, what else do you agree about in life? And then you may say, hey, I mean, give me some answers. I mean, give me some nice privileges about what I can agree about. I mean, and then I say, I understand either way. I mean, let's just talk about life then. I mean, we're going to talk about a topic. I understand either way. I go about life and I say, hey, life is amazing and life is vital, because I understand that when I go and see Nikola Tesla, I also have to have that nice big, I have to have that nice big legacy of his as well. I mean, do you agree?
I agree.
I agree. You can say I agree. You can also say I say yes. I mean, what's amazing is every single day we always find a nice, beautiful privilege. But then I can say, because we're role playing over here, I can say either way. I mean, do you have a question for me?
I guess my question to you is, how do you bring what you're going to say out without it just being stuck in your head?
I understand all the. That's a beautiful question. I love that question.
Because that's what keeps happening.
I understand because you're very slow to, let's say
Yeah.
or let's say think about the question. So that's how I actually see that. But I understand that what's amazing is when you're really fast to answer a question, you never have to think for 1 minute. I mean, that's the difference. So when you're understanding either way that you're still smart, you're very smart for being here. I understand that you must keep living on, and I encourage you to keep thinking about those questions. So you're going to get faster and faster as you go along. But what's amazing is understanding you have 50,000 going in terms of 50,000 thoughts in your head right now. But the one
Actually
answer,
more, yeah.
I mean, there's always a lot. I have a lot as well. I realize that the way I speak is IUQ rule. I speak with 3 words. I use the I use the you, and these questions. I stick to those basics, but I realize I taught you one. I already taught you to be staying into that one aspect of life, which is I, which is where Jesus says, don't cut the I out. I promise you that's very important. So you've been using it all along, and I understand that you understand that. But then let's say you want to use another word other than I first. I mean, let's use the you. I mean, do you understand, for example, when I go, you must understand that when I really live my life, I go in a healthy direction. You must understand that when I go and really live my life, I live it better because of you. I understand that either way, when I say because of you, I understand that it's because of you. I understand that when I go, for example, when I start my conversation with you, I understand I can mix it up with I and you. And then I may go and say, I understand that you will love to see I every single day growing. I understand either way, I love to see you growing as well. I'm using the I and you in that sentence, but I'm using other words in between. But I understand that what's important is ask a question along the way, and I say, I understand that you believe I'm smart. I'm rushing, that's a question. I understand either way, you can start a question with the I, or you can say, you believe I'm smart. I understand either way, that's a question too. I understand that what's amazing, or you can say, what do you believe about smarts? I mean, either way, I mean, that's a constructive method of, let's say, basicality, where I use those type of sequences. But what's amazing is I need to give you more information about it. I'm always looking for ways to, let's say, expand my context. So when you're expanding context, you have to be talking more, you have to be speaking up more, you have to be broad about what you're actually saying. But you have to find yourself really speaking 3 words. You have to speak the I, you have to speak the you, and you have to speak more questions. So you have to be answering questions, you have to think about questions, you have to think about I. And that's the only word of life, I promise you. And also you have to understand that sometimes you mix in the you, and you say, I do it for you. You're the only one I love. I mean, in a sense, so either way, you can say that. You can say, I love you. You must love yourself. I mean, those are 2 statements, but it's different said.
Yeah.
I understand, although one starts with you, or one starts with I. So either way, you can end your sentences with you and start with you, and you can also end your sentences with I and start with I. And that's how I do it in my life. So remember when I said, do you remember when I said I, Lockbits I? My album can be called, in terms of life, I can say you, Lockbits you. Now, why is that? I understand that because I always go towards you, I point towards you. I'm teaching you something about that. So I, Lockbits I, you, Lockbits you. I can also say when, Lockbits when.
I understand that you is just a reflection of I.
I understand. So you are I am you, but that's how we talk. And then I understand either way we're answering questions and we're talking questions. So there's always, you have to be thinking about a question as I talk. Because when I strike you with a question and then you think about it for 10 seconds, you are, let's say, listening, you're actually reading about me, but you're not, let's say, 10 seconds ahead of about a question. So you have to understand that I'm giving you a lot of ideas about what to question me about, because let's say you want to question me about something, but then you use the word, let's say, question. You go into the question, but you say, how do I question people? I mean, I realize that you grab one word from my sentence and you say, how do I do this? How do I do that? How do I do that? I mean, ask any question. I mean, there's millions of questions that you can ask. So when you, for example, from that sentence, I may say, how do you ask so many questions? I realize now, either way, I may say, I am vital because I understand that when I ask many questions, I receive a lot. And then you say, what do you receive? I mean, just go, what do you receive? And then you keep
What
the
do you
person
receive?
talking. You keep the person, you keep them talking. And then I say, I receive wisdom and love because I give. And then you say, what do you give? I mean, do you understand? I mean, that's the question. I mean, you don't have to think about anything else other than you just answer in a way that you grab one word and you say, what do you give? Because I said give. I said the word give, so you say, what do you give? How do you give? When do you give? Where do you give? I mean, do you understand? So there's all these type of questions, whereas there's the where and what and when and why and who do you give with? I mean, either way, you can also ask those questions. And then when I'm really, let's say, developing a skill to go differently, I'll go and ask another question, and then I make sure to resort into a final solution. And then you may ask, what is the final solution? I mean, the final solution is really Jesus Christ. I mean, why is it Jesus Christ? I mean, now we're answering questions, aren't we? And then we go, I say, because I understand when I read the Bible of Jesus Christ, I see actually his nice, beautiful persona and how his attitude is, that he doesn't want to touch you, or else he doesn't want to go have sex with other people, or else he says, delay gratification. And then he gets the mentors in terms of he gets his disciples. I understand he's his biggest mentor. I realize that he says every single day you must really love your life and you must really go and be much more inspirational, but make sure when somebody's hitting you or somebody is violent with you, you allow it like Jesus can. I understand then you can say, for example, you can answer a question, you can say, why did that story happen? Or let's say we can talk about something, either way. But what's amazing is understand you have to have a story of a question. So from that nice, beautiful story, I may ask, I understand, although I may make a statement over here, I understand it doesn't even make common sense about how Jesus died. I understand, although, that what's amazing is that we still have to live. I mean, do you understand? So every single day, I'm making sure always to go and find that nice, beautiful idea. I'm looking for ideas. I'm looking for how to really have empathy. I'm looking for ways to have skills. And then you may say, how do you have empathy in life? How do you do empathy? Because we have to stay more interesting. We have to stay more curious. Or else then I go into empathy products. I go into the topic of empathy. Well, empathy is leadership, and leadership is confidence, and confidence is love. So let's put those four together, and then we understand that if you want to love somebody, you have to give. And then when you want to give, you have to receive. And then or else when you receive, I'm already in the topic of receiving now. And when you're receiving, you're looking for ways to make sure that people have different ideas. Or else now, because I finish off with different ideas, you can say, what different ideas? You can say, what different ideas? And then you can say, for example, well, there are all these types of ideas that are modern today. I understand that what's the best idea is making sure that you're doing it. I mean, and then I may continue here, or I may ask you a question, or a nice, beautiful sign to say, either way, I may also teach you what question I can ask myself over here. I may say, what type of idea do you recommend that is the best idea? Or else, either way, the best idea must be making sure that you're doing something that's really favorable for yourself. And then you may say, what is that? I mean, what is actually helping me forward over here? I mean, what makes you forward in life, in terms of life? When you're really answering those questions, you have to understand it's information. So you have that information product to understand that when somebody is giving information, they're updating you about life, and then you're understanding how to answer those questions. And then when you answer those questions for yourself, you're actually understanding how to really lead people. Unfortunately, now when you ask that question, you may say, how to really lead people anyway? Unfortunately, either way, we talk about leadership more, because we have to ask a question to be able to speak up more. Or else, either way, a question is always the resolve. You have to be resolving to a question, because otherwise you're leaving the other person on the microphone to only speak. I mean, or grab the conversation yourself and start adding to the equation. Or else now, for example, when you're adding to the equation, you're actually doing this. I may speak about life and I may say, well, life is an amazing aspect. Or else now you say something about it. You say something about life. I mean, you have to add to my sentence.
I think that life is a beautiful experience.
I agree, because I understand when it's a beautiful experience, I grow.
I gain knowledge and I gain love,
I gain also knowledge and love when I look
but I
at.
also give.
You also give. I understand. That's amazing. I realize either way that what's amazing is giving, isn't it? I realize now every single time we're always making sure that we're just adding to the equation. So when you're adding to the equation, I make sure I can also ask, I can answer a question, I can go and speak with a question, or I can just talk about life now, and I can say, well, understand that when we're really developing ourselves on the street sometimes, it's very amazing.
I understand that.
I understand that too. So either way, we're always looking to add to the equation. So either way, that what's amazing is that when we're looking at each other, you must be answering one idea in life. You must be answering something that's really going to help you. So when you're understanding to ask those questions about those ideas that I give you, or as you may say, well, I mean, you may make a nice beautiful remark. You might say like this, like you have a question or something, so that I understand. But when you're just standing and just watching me, I understand that you're very intent about what I'm saying. But sometimes maybe you have a question. I mean, just signal me. I mean, signal me that you have a
Okay,
question,
yeah.
and then I say, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you can speak now. Because sometimes I understand that when people are just very intent on what I'm saying, I understand that you're really listening, but it's not necessarily to ask a question. I understand that when you're seeking out questions, you may understand that I may be speaking for 10 seconds or not, but then you say, I have a question. I mean, I want to hear it. I understand either way, I make sure to make people more aware like that. So when you want to have, let's say, a conversation with somebody, you must understand to go and ask more questions and find the business skill you need and find a nice beautiful strategy for yourself every single day to be on the street sometimes, and understand either way that I'm always doing it. I have to be focusing upon that. I have to be focusing upon how can I live my life. So when I focus upon my life, I understand it's just make sure you're teaching and connecting those words together. And when you're doing that, you're making people feel loving of you, and you're understanding I'm loving you so much today because I'm giving you those ideas, and then I'm understanding every single day that when I do that, I find more about you and I see how you are, and every single day I understand how that is. I mean, it's very beautiful, isn't it?
It is beautiful, and
I say it's beautiful. I realize now, for example, when you say it is beautiful, you say I realize
I realize it is beautiful.
I realize it is beautiful. So I have to catch you out over here because I understand that when you say it is beautiful, I understand that what's amazing is say I realize, I mean, and then understand to say what you want to say. But if, for example, you said it is beautiful, I then need you to go, I see Danny said, I realize it is beautiful. So for example, sometimes you may say sorry, and then it's, you go back on it, you say, I realize it's not, I realize it's not sorry, I realize it's, I am sorry. I mean, you can always go back on those words. I mean, you can always understand there's always a nice, beautiful equation to understand that when you're interesting, you shall be what?
Sorry.
I mean, it's one word.
I.
I mean, never forget about it. So either way, you must say it quickly. You must say it within 1 second. I. Approach it so quickly. Approach it when you're focusing on other people. What you do? I mean, what do you do when you focus on other people?
I forget about the topic that we were talking about.
Alright, now because you forget the topic, I mean, why do you forget it?
I forget because I am focusing on the external.
You're focusing on external, but what are you really focusing on when you really, let's say, focus on the external of life? I mean, what is it that catches your attention?
I see the contrast.
I see, when you see the contrast, I want to ask you questions now because this is how we're going to really lead. But you're the leader here, but I'm asking you questions. I mean, do you get it? So when you're asking somebody questions, you're making the other individual answer, and the individual who's answering is a leader. But when you're, let's say, answering questions that other people are asking you, you're also a leader. So, for example, what's the contrast that you're talking about?
I see that there's different perspectives in terms of we're here talking about this, but also everyone else is moving past and moving along.
I see. So when we're talking over here and everybody's moving along,
Yeah.
I mean, why are you focusing on them, or why are you focusing on you? And what is it really, let's say, in terms of life, where you have to go and look at them over what's happening over here?
I remember I have somewhere to be.
I see you have somewhere to be. So when you have somewhere to be, what is that place that you have to go to and why?
I have to go and get some headphones because I don't have any.
I see. So either way, I understand that no matter what, you always have headphones over here. I mean, it's just in the shop, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, you have everything. You have a Ferrari over here. I mean, you just go to the shop and get it.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody has everything that we need right here. But the deal is, I realize that no matter what you have, you must have what? You must have
I.
I approach you. That's amazing. So you can remember that. I approach you either way. That what's amazing is when you're focusing upon every single day, living your life, you're focusing on asking those questions. But do you have an Instagram? I mean, do you have a YouTube? I mean, come and promote yourself on the camera.
I do have an Instagram, and I'm very confident with expressing myself on Instagram, I guess, because I'm able to articulate and think about what I'm going to say before I say it,
I understand.
rather than being put on the spot.
I promise you, although when you, I mean, when you're just talking over here, I mean, try to talk in front of a crowd over here and see how you feel. Let's start with your story. Let's talk about your story, and let's say when you're talking about your story, let's say you're doing a street performance now. I mean, just go give 1 minute speech in front of people. I mean, just talk about your story. You start with yourself and you say, I grew up here and this is what happened, and also this is how I lead, and this is how I grow, and this is how I really function in my life, and this is what I'm really helping myself with today, or I'm going to the store to get this because of this and because of this and because of this. And I'm just making sure I'm always teaching, and I'm making sure every single day I get an idea. I understand that when there's a beautiful world, or you may start with a metaphor, for example, and you may say, I understand that either way, that I realize the epiphany of life is understanding something. So when you're understanding something, you just go into something, and then you realize that either way, you can start with your story, you can start with somebody else, you can start understanding either way that the best way to start is to give knowledge. Now, any type of information you have, you can always start. You can always realize that the amazing thing about life is when I say go practice, I realize that it's amazing to feel it up and see how it actually feels. Because when you're looking at the crowd over here, I understand that most people walk away. But what's amazing is understand that you're just building your confidence. But what's amazing is understanding how to look at people while you talk. I understand there's always a way to understand that no matter what, you must always realize there's always a way that you can give an idea. So when you're giving ideas, you just start with yourself and then just go along and realize either way that the first 10 words, I mean, what do you say in the first 10 words? I mean, you can speak any type of 10 words about your life.
I was born in Australia. I
realize that, for example, let's say I realize when I start my story, I understand, guys, no matter what, when you hear my story today, you guys will understand who I am, because I'm Danny Milivojevic. I'm born as a Serbian and also a Croatian. I understand that what's amazing is I'm always lifting people. Do you agree? I mean, there's a big difference, isn't there? So I'm in their face, aren't I? I'm in their face. I don't care about what they think anymore, because I'm in the spotlight now. I'm taking the center of attention. But do you realize how when Nice Beautiful, let's say, vocals change? I realize that when I start my Nice Beautiful public speaking program, I say, I welcome you guys all today. I'm making sure every single day I have the health required to make sure that my I, in terms of I love you, is something very inspirational. So when I'm making sure I'm always speaking up, I do it in front of a video, and then I just go along. I just start really talking for 2 hours like that. And I just realize it's amazing. I realize it's amazing feeling when, no matter even if they're looking at me or not, but what's amazing is I make sure to go and give those ideas because somebody is looking at me on YouTube. All right, that's amazing. Although I understand that either way, that when you have somewhere to go, I understand that it's really understand that you just make sure every single day you always have that nice, beautiful improvement in you. I mean, be more curious about life. I mean, be curious about the nice, beautiful individuality that you have. You're unique. I mean, you have one face in life. I mean, nobody else has your face. You're the only one in the world that has your face and your persona and your, I mean, whatever you are. I mean, you have to understand that you're only one word. You're I. I mean, everybody here is one word. I. I mean, you're I. So realize that when I can do it, you can do it. I realize anybody can do it. But you have to understand, you have to start slowly writing the story out, and you have to understand you have to go and progress with your communication first. So, for example, I'm Serbian. I have to practice Serbian communication skills. I have to talk about more and more and more in Serbian to be able to learn more English skills in Serbian, for example. I understand, although, that what's amazing is in English, I have to speak up more English to become greater. I see you're learning.
I see that I don't really, I struggle with learning other languages, but that's because I'm still struggling with articulating my words in English.
I see. So when you're struggling with articulating your words in English, you have to understand you have to go and speak up more. Anyway, you have to be writing more. You have to be doing more writing. You have to be doing. So if you're scared to do it in a camera, for example, then you can do it. You have to do it on writing, or you can do it in audio. I mean, sometimes it doesn't work straight away for you to be on a video because of how frightened you may be. So what you do is you do it in writing instead, because you don't have to be in front of people to communicate, and you don't have to communicate to other people to communicate. Because what I do is I'm stepping up from, let's say, I really was scared before, I realized in all honesty, that when I started first doing my Nice Beautiful videos, I was very afraid to step up on camera and start promoting myself. I was very fat as well. I was 2 times heavier than this. I understand, although what's amazing is every single day I practice and practice and practice. And over 3 years, I write my journals, but my journals is something that really helps me physically to keep my conversation going. So let's say I understand Mel Robbins, who is a architect in, let's say, public speaking. Or she has a book that's really 5-second rule. I realize it's really, let's say, called the 5-second rule in terms of I understand that what's amazing, I go and get the book, the 5-second rule, and then I go and, let's say, I write in my Nice Beautiful journal over here. I may pick up a second, or let's say I may pick up something of life. I understand either way, I have all the time in the world, but what's amazing is when I get an idea, I write it in less than 5 seconds, and that's the book that she writes. I mean, you get an idea, you put it into paper, you put it into a quote, you put it, I mean, just go write it down. So I have a journal where I go and write all this nice, beautiful information. So when I write my information forward, I make sure every single day I'm focusing upon my life to go and really dwell upon an ability to make sure that I'm always focusing on people when somebody is speaking with me, because I understand that what's important is understand that when I show my phone, for example, I show my phone to teach you something. I never show my phone to look at my phone. I've always showed that it's amazing when you're having a conversation with somebody and they're looking at you only. Because as soon as you go and let's say I do that, I understand either way that what's amazing is every single day I have a life experience or something like that. I mean, I'm looking at the phone, but I'm teaching you something. I mean, either way, that it's much better when we're looking at each other in the eyes. So either way, I'm always learning like that, but I understand either way that what's amazing is when we're inviting people and when we're, let's say, recapping this story over here, you have to understand this is what I do daily. I mean, we have to step up. I mean, how long have we been over here?
Yeah, I wouldn't have learnt anything if I didn't take the time to experience this.
You see, you just have to say, I say, yeah, well, I wouldn't have taken the time or something like that, but you have to put that I. And then yeah. I realize now, either way, that what's amazing is just don't ever say anything else other than I first. I mean, stick to the word I. So every single time you speak the next sentence, your first word must be I. And then finish off the sentence with I. I mean, what's a beautiful example?
I am really enjoying this experience.
I mean, do you get it? So go again. I mean, go and do it again.
I'm really enjoying this experience. I see now that I have more to talk about because I am expressing myself. I am focusing on going to where I need to be, although I am here with you now, experiencing this present moment. Because I had something I needed to learn. I realize now that's why I am here.
I again will say, I mean, do you see how you come back to the I?
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I do. I mean, I just come back to the I. I realize now, either way.
I realize I have more to talk about when I keep focusing on the I.
I realize now, every single time you put the sentences together, I understand I'm always doing that. I understand either way that there's always a way to come back to the I in my communication. I realize that. I realize either way, I'm always talking like that. I say that all the time. I realize every single time I'm focusing on you, but I focus on myself because of my I. Whereas now sometimes when you're reasoning with your I, you say, I love to go to the shop because of I. I mean, make sure you can also say that. I mean, when you say it for yourself, I mean, go ahead.
I have to go to the shop because I realize that it's closing soon.
I have to go to the shop because I realize it's closing soon because of I.
Because of I.
You can say because of I. You can say because of I.
I am spending this time here.
You you're starting off, but what's amazing is you have to understand every single day you have to speak up more. So when you're speaking up more, you have to speak up the I. I'm always speaking that I. I'm always understanding that it's first, and my next sentence is I. And then my next sentence is I, because the I is the goalpost, and you keep coming back to the I. But anything else in terms of other words is not important. But the I, in terms of how you sentence the I, is very important. So I understand you have to go, but what's amazing is go and just repeat another 3 sentences that is reasoning upon I. So when I say that, you say because of I is one reason, and another reason because of I is I understand is another one. I understand all the way when you go, I understand because nice, beautiful confidence is I. You can also do that.
I realize I am here still because I'm still not grasping this.
I love that. I love that. I mean, that's a beautiful
But I
sentence. I mean, you can say, I realize because I, and because I, and because I. You can also say that. You can go back to the I like that, or you can go back to the I this way. You can say, I love I because I understand I, that when I go with I somewhere, I love my I. I understand either way. I thank you very much. You're very beautiful, but either way, you can always contact me on my Instagram when you need me.
Thank you.
I thank you. I thank you. I'll see
I
you always.
thank you.
I thank
I
you very
thank
much.
you.
I thank you. I thank you is very beautiful, and also I welcome you anytime.
All right.
I thank you.
I thank you.
I thank you very much. I'll always be here, so I understand either way you can find me on Instagram. I thank you. I thank you. I understand that it's getting, I understand either way. What's amazing is you can grab my business card as well, or you can actually take a photo. I mean, whatever works for you. But every single day I'm always focusing upon making sure that my I is very in place in terms of my life, so that I can have my I again, and so that I understand I come back to the I every single time. I understand I never die. I make sure I always go back to the I again. And that's how I really talk. I talk through the I symptom. I make sure I'm always speaking the I intent and making sure I'm always giving that idea. So I may go into a different equation. I may look at different aspects of life again, but I make sure I grab the I again. I then use my I again to speak. I understand either way. I'm pushing myself forward with the I again. And then I just talk about I, because I understand that's important. But then I just go into other realms and I use the you and I use the question as well. I mean, do you guys get it? I mean, either way, that's how I speak as well. Or you guys must understand that you guys must be inspiring, because I understand that. You must understand that. I must understand that. I realize that's how I speak. So either way, that's amazing every single day to understand that when you're really inspirational much more and more and more, you find different ways of communication. You'll find actually how to grow. You'll find actually how to have an ability for yourself by making sure that you have the courage daily to go and really inspire yourself and use the word. I realize everything starts with I. I realize that's amazing, and it also finishes with I. I realize you have to be adding to the equation. You must understand. I realize that you are very happy. You're actually much happier when you say, I realize. I realize that's how you understand life. I realize life is one word, I. I mean, that's it. I mean, either way, I understand no matter what, I'll talk to you very soon. I understand that every single day I'm always here, so I understand I'm always looking for ways to improve. I'm always looking for ways to do my life, so I'm just focusing upon my nice beautiful video, and when I do that, I just focus on giving those ideas, because you have to be beautiful, you have to be understanding how to give the beautiful quality you have every single day, which is I. I'm actually an I for information. So information is what I'm giving today, which is the first word of I. I'm saying either way, I'm making sure that when I give nice beautiful information daily, I'm making sure either way that you have to also make sure that you have to get to somewhere. So when you go to somewhere, I understand either way, I'm always here for you anyway. So what's amazing is I'm always making sure I have an idea. I'm giving those ideas differently. I understand that what's amazing is there's always much more attention I can give. I realize when I give attention, I go and really study much more. And when I study much more, I always make sure that I go and live my quality of life. I understand that it's making sure that I have to lift people. I realize when I lift people, I lift them differently. I make sure I'm always putting into the situation and equation of life where I have to reason with I, and I have to reason with I, and I have to reason with I, and I have to reason with I again to make sure that I go and live my I love you. I understand that's, I love you too. I thank you. I thank you. I thank you. I'll see you very soon. I understand that's very important every single day, so make sure every single day I'm always focusing upon how to live my life. I understand that when you really understand how to live your life every single day, you focus upon the I, and you make sure that you go and really know your I today, because that's how you really become the best version of yourself. So understand, make sure you live your I today.